Doing amazing. And we got Ilya, we got Daniela. It's a full party. So
hmm
Ilya, you haven't been on the Q&A call, so I'll just briefly tell you like how it works. It's very complex. So we'll talk about like where you're at, what kind of challenges you're going through, what kind of stuff you've done, and then we could talk about it, and then maybe even share a screen and walk you through. Like I'm not big on theory, I actually like to show like how you would do it. So
We
maybe you could
lost
start
you.
just
We lost your visual.
really.
Yeah, no, I'm so sad.
Can't see me now?
No.
Really? Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
This free Google Hangout thing. Um,
You get what you pay
Works
for.
I know,
for me pretty
seriously.
well.
We might have to
Oh,
move
you're
to
back. I think you're back. You're
okay,
back.
we might have to go to GoToWebinar next week because it's very reliable. Like it never has any problems. So Ilya, just briefly, like Danielle, she's working on relationships for women, so she's like pretty fixed on her niche. I know, like for you, like we've gone through some stuff where it's like it was a no-go, right? For dating for not dating for uh helping dad entrepreneurs become dad like business 9 to 5 people become dad entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it seemed like it was a no-go. I'm not sure that it is, but usually when there's not a lot of response, it's usually like a bad signal. Yeah. So
Yep.
what have you done so far since then?
Okay. Well, I tried to um, go with the idea of, offering a service. Um, I did go broad, like um, I send you a spreadsheet with a bunch of services that I kind of dreamed up, but
Yep.
I couldn't get it in my head how I'll make it work. So I just went with the broad kind of, hi guys, I'm looking to build a business helping online entrepreneurs um, with all their webby techie issues, so you can concentrate on your business. Tell me what you're struggling with. And I got 5 responses so far, so it kind of sucks too.
Okay. What would
Better.
five is five. It's not one. It's not 10. It's five. Um, what? So there's a problem there. The problem there is you're not specific about what it is they're gonna get out of it, right? So it's like okay, techie issues. Um, so then they have to convert it, right? It's like okay, techie issues. What kind of techie issues do I have? So they have to like think about it. You see what I'm saying? So if they're dealing with a WordPress problem, they're not thinking of like techie issues. They're thinking, well, maybe, but it's like they have to do that conversion. Oh, I
Yeah.
have techie issues. That means I have WordPress and hosting and yada yada, right? So like Danielle, like you're not techie, right? You wouldn't call yourself a techie person,
No,
right?
no, no. Can you hear me?
I guess my pitch was, I want to take care of the tech side of your business so you can get on with getting customers, making money, doing all that. And but I take your point. It's not specific. But what I can't get in my head, it's like, you know, how do I get specific? Because I don't actually know what I'm doing, to be honest.
Okay, good.
It's a
So
mindset thing, I guess.
what's that?
It's a mindset thing, I guess.
Definitely. So let me give you some so you got 5 responses. Out of those five, what did they say that was the problems? Like, what were some of the things?
One person had problems with integrating. She wants to build a membership site, but it's too hard and the advice is sort of convoluted. She kind of wants out of the box membership site by the sounds. The other person said they want, they don't find it hard to get tech support, but it's often non-native English speakers and people not interested in following through. They just want to do a project and move on. They don't want to kind of have a holistic view of their business and work with them to achieve some results, long-term results for the business. Like we do the project, we move on to something else. Another person said they didn't really care and everything's fine. The tech issue is not a big problem. They're more interested in marketing and making sales.
Okay. Okay, so forget that person, but the person who had tech issues, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then did you call them? Have you scheduled a call with them yet?
No.
Why not?
Well, I didn't really know. I sort of thought, well, is my aim to get 20 to 30 responses? Is the fact that I only got
No.
5 means
No,
I'm just
no,
new? And
no. Your aim's not to get um it's not about the okay, so okay, it's not totally clear, but let me try to like make it clear. So if you got responses, right, there's a need. So let's say 5. 4 of them said, I don't really want it. Why did they fill out the survey then, right, would be my question, right?
no, actually, 4 said they wanted something. There was only one guy who said he didn't want anything.
Right. So I would call him up then, and I would ask him why did he fill out the survey? What was it that got him interested enough to fill out the survey if he's happy with what he's got? That would be like my number, like after I build a rapport or something like that. That would be a question I would ask right away. Be like, it sounds like you got. I would play the opposite. Be like, sounds like everything's working for you. So I'm curious, like, what was it that made you decide to invest time to fill out the survey? If the responses were in detail, right? If the responses were short, then maybe not. Okay, so for like, let's just forget that person for a second. But the person who told you that they have a tech problem, right? They're looking for, so you want to write like these in your notebook. They're looking for a native speaker, right? Somebody who's reliable, who like doesn't just work on their project but works with them. Okay, fair enough. So they have a need, right? So you're not
Yep.
trying to get like 30 responses. You're trying to figure out the needs that people have, because that's a need. Like that's a legitimate need. Like you don't have to really validate that one. That's a need for sure. Like Daniela, right? Do you have somebody, like, do you consider yourself a techie? No, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, so who does your tech stuff?
Corey.
Okay, fair enough, Corey.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, he solved a huge problem. He created a membership site, and as your people one, he actually showed me how to use it, and he's available to take us the next step and change it if it needs to be changed.
okay. So, how much is it usually to work with Corey?
Yeah.
How much is it usually to work with Corey?
How much does it cost to work with Corey?
Well, yeah. Usually, how much does it cost? Like, how much does he charge for his services?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's maybe like a couple $1,000s to create that.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So oh yeah, so a couple $1,000s, right? And I think what Corey does is he creates membership sites for people
Uh-huh.
and shows them how to use that membership site.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he has any trainings, but he should. And then there's also where he does it for you. Like he essentially sets up your membership site. You give him like the videos. Danielle, like, is that right?
Right. He does. I think he has that service too. That's not what I'm doing, but yeah, like he'll create your everything. He'll create your membership site, like the actual product. He'll also create your series beforehand, your marketing series, and yeah, he'll plug everything in and do it for you.
Okay, good. So Ilya, the point is not to get 30 responses. I mean, that would be definitely like a huge win. Like you have like big demand, but you only get that if it's a niche, right? If it's so wide, you won't get that many responses. It's just too wide. It's the counterintuitive thing, right? It's the thing that everyone I think struggles with. And I want to show you this thing, which is really important here. Okay.
That would
So
be your
this
so.
is this is a
Gary,
list. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we can't see your screen.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Can you see it now?
Not yet.
Okay. See it? Okay, I'll just read it to you.
Okay.
Okay, so this comes from a company called Sequoia, and this is what they look for. They're like the biggest venture capital company. Okay, this is what they look for. One of the other ones are like, they look for clarity of purpose, large markets, rich customers. So we're not really concerned with large markets so much. Like we're okay with small markets. But the
Mm.
one thing that they look for, one of their like 8 or 9 criteria, is this one called focus, right? And here's what it says. Customers will only buy a simple product with a single value proposition.
A simple product.
A simple product with a singular value proposition.
It does one thing. Is that what that
Yeah.
means?
Yeah, exactly. So essentially what they're saying, okay, is when they buy a company, when they're looking to invest in a company, what they're looking for is a product that's simple
Mm-hmm.
and that one product does one thing very well. It does one thing better than other products, or it's somehow different, right? There's something about it that's different relative to all the other ones. There's some kind of uniqueness to it. An angle. It doesn't have to be unique. It has to be an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so cool. So Ilya, you got 5 people, you got this one person who has a need. Your next step is not to get more responses. Your next step is to schedule a call with this lady.
Yep.
Making sense?
Yep.
And
Definitely.
then take the script that's in module 3, right? Have you seen that script?
No, I didn't actually went beyond module one because I just sort of felt stuck, and I'm like, am I cheating the whole system? I got to get 30 surveys. I'm not going to the next step till I've done it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, that is your mind messing you up, right? It's like, okay, this needs to happen before that happens. Not true. That's not true. Okay, so it's like, oh, okay, I need to get 30 surveys, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should have made that more clear in module 1. But the bottom line is, what you need to do is you need to, 1, figure out a need, and 2, get a customer. And then once you figure out the need and you get a customer, then you fulfill that need, right? And then you get a referral. Like that's as easy and simple as it can be. So it doesn't need to be any more complex than that.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Makes
cool.
sense.
So what's your action item? What are you going to do?
Schedule a call with a person.
Yep.
Script module 3. Hopefully get to work or try and help them and get a referral. Would you go with the price, or would you just offer, look, I just want to help you, I'm starting out, want to help you, how much to referral at this point?
I wouldn't say any of those, because some of those are not the best things to say. I would follow the script word for word. So like, Daniela, when you made your first sale, right?
Yeah.
You followed the script, right?
Yes. Totally.
Okay. How did you prepare for that?
How do you mean? How did I prepare?
Like before the call, what were the things that you did? Like the script was there in module 3. What did you do in preparation for that call?
Well, I checked out their survey again. I went over their survey. I looked over the points that they were strong about.
Yeah.
And the first sale was actually a follow-up sale, so I used the first script, and then I added on the second part of the script, like where it was like a sale script.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I went over their survey, I went over their points, and I have the script like in front of me so I can reference it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just made a point to listen, and also when I was going through like the major benefits, to really highlight what they said. So I just had a thing that I can take notes, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So Ilya, so your thing is what I feel like your thing is, right? What's stopping you right now is mind talk. Okay, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the mind talk that's going on inside your head, right? So it's like, oh, what we want, like, is we want to like make the sale without being uncomfortable, right? So we want to like this includes me as well. Like I'm just speaking like from like not like you, like me as well. Like we want to, you want to go on a date with a girl. You guys, well, you're married, but like for us single people, like for a guy, he wants to go on a date with a hot girl, and a girl wants to go out with a hot or successful guy, but a guy has to step outside his comfort zone and like ask the girl out. It's like, oh, okay, like that's weird, right? That could be weird. Might come up to her and like, oh, I'm gonna say this. She'd be like, I don't know, like, oh, okay, now what, right? But you have to take that risk, and then something you don't know what's gonna happen. Like then you just don't know. You're like, okay, well, I did that. Now it's like, okay, now what's gonna happen? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that you have to get outside your comfort zone. So your comfort zone is in collecting the surveys. Like that's where you're comfortable. You're like, okay, cool. I can collect the surveys. People respond back to the surveys. It looks like I'm doing work, right? But the real work is calling these people up, scheduling a call with them, and then getting outside the comfort zone and going through the script. And like it's a new thing for you, right? I don't know, maybe, but it's like you don't know what you're doing, right? Good.
Totally.
That's exactly where you should be at. Like that's where you're at, and that's exactly where you should be at. You don't know what you're doing, but as you do, then you slowly start to figure out like, oh, okay, here we go. And you might get lucky or you might not, but that's what you got to do. So your number one thing you could do is one, watch module 3, right? Go through that, and then print out the script. But the first thing is schedule the call. So don't do anything before you schedule the call. So priority is schedule the call, and use timetrade.com or vSITA, or just call her up. Do you have her number?
Yeah, she left the details.
Fantastic. Do you have your phone? Okay, great. Take out your phone right now and ring her up. Where's your phone?
Yep.
You have your phone. I'm serious. I'm not kidding.
I'm not going to call it out now.
Why?
Well, there's logistics because I'm in Australia. She's probably in the US. I have to look up what the bloody
Okay,
time
it's 5:30. It's 5:38 Pacific. It's 8. Is she on Pacific or Eastern time? Look at Ilya getting nervous. I can see it. Is she on Pacific or Eastern?
I have no idea.
Okay, what's her number?
I'd have to have a look at the survey.
Okay, so while you're looking for the surveys, I'll talk to Danielle about her business. Okay, but get the number out. Okay, and then like text me the number or put the number in chat. Okay, and we might call her, and you might schedule a call today. Who knows? Okay, your goal, like in this thing, right? Here's your goal. Your goal is like one, speed. Okay, you don't want to wait. You want to speed. Okay, how can we do this fast? How can we do this now, tomorrow? Because here's the thing. Here's how it works. In order to make the sale, you got to schedule the call. Okay.
Yep.
You got to make the appointment. She's got to show up, right? And then you can make the sale. You're positioned to make the sale. Okay. So the faster you make the faster you schedule the appointment. Like it's just like I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Like you know this, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it anyway because you have resistance, right? So it's like the faster you make the call or the faster you schedule it, the faster you get on the call, the more feedback. Like even if it's a no, like even if she's like, but it's not a no, like she has a need. So you just need to ask the right questions to uncover the need, use the script, and then just follow that, and then you'll understand what it is she's looking for, and then you're positioned to make an offer later on or there, however you want. So the major thing is because you haven't gone through module 3, like you don't know the steps, so you got to go through the steps. And the thing that you're probably afraid of is like the sales part of it, right? The pricing and all that.
Yes. Actually, to be honest, I'm more scared of that I just can't back it up, that I'm just going to say, yeah, and then I just can't deliver.
Okay. So...
Because I'm not really going with... It's not 100% fit for me, you know? Like, it's something that I don't do for a living. It's something, you know, obviously I can outsource it and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's its own thing, but I'm more scared that, yeah, okay, I'm just going to call this person, she says, I want this membership site, blood, you know, WordPress, all this sort of stuff, and I just go, oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. I understand at high level, but how am I actually going to deliver it and do it and that sort of stuff? But
Okay.
I'm overthinking.
Okay, yeah, you are. So think of it like there's two things there, right? So the first thing is that you don't want to sell a wide service. You don't want to sell I'm going to build a membership site for you and a autoresponder sequence, and we're going to design your membership site for $100. Okay, that's what you don't want to do, because then you're screwing yourself. There's no way to run that. Okay, but what you could do is, out of the things she talks about, discover which one is the most important one. Right? And then ask her why she thinks that one is more important than the other ones. Right? So in the script, like there's a part in the script where you ask them to order it in priority. Which one's more important? Okay, so then once you've uncovered that, you're not really selling her anything. This is the beauty. You're not really selling her anything. You're letting her know that you're creating this thing and you're trying to figure out what it is they need. And if you did create it, would she be interested? Right? So the pressure is off. There's no pressure. Right? There's no like sales pricing pressure on you. It's just a conversation.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of it. And it allows you to go to the next step. So you'll and then when you talk with her, you could ask her, hey, you know, cool, it sounds like you need this and this. I'm probably gonna be creating this. I don't know yet, but if I did create it, like, what would be important for you? Right? And then she'll say, you know, whatever is important for her. So remember, you're not trying to like you're trying to understand. You're trying to understand. It's going to require some work, talking with people. You're not trying to make a sale of something you can't deliver. You're not trying to do that. You're trying to understand. That's it. That's it. That's the first step. Because otherwise you put like too much pressure. Like I'm trying to understand and make a sale and fulfill the service. Like that's too much.
Yeah.
That's like, whoosh, right? So don't do that. Just focus on the understanding. Fair? Cool.
Yep, that makes sense.
Cool. When could you schedule a call with her?
Oh, a couple of days.
Okay. So
Well,
you could get.
I just got to work out. I got to have a look at the survey, work out where she is. Would you just call out of the blue? Because I probably have her email address, or would I email and say, hey?
If it was me, okay, if it was me, this is me, I would take the number and I would put it in my phone and I would call her right now and I'd say, hey, is that Amy? Hey, Amy, this is Gary calling regarding the survey. If you recall, you submitted a survey last week. Does that ring a bell? Yes. Fantastic. Well, the reason for the call is I'm calling to schedule a call with you to see if I can better understand what you're looking for and then see if I could offer you some help. How's that sound? Sounds great. Fantastic. So, like, you know, I'm available tomorrow between 3 and 4. Is it like afternoons or evenings better for you? Oh, evenings. Great. Fantastic. Evenings. How about 7 p.m.? Does that work for you? Yes. Fantastic. Great. I'll see you at 7. Any reason why you might not make that call? No, I'll be there. Okay, great. Then I'll see you there. That's it.
Okay.
That's as simple as it is.
All right.
Now, the reason why I was able to do it right, like that, right, is because that wasn't my first time saying those things. I've said those things hundreds of times. Okay? I know that script. So, like, one of the things that you want to do is not overthink it, just make the call. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be like, mine's not perfect either right now. But it's like, okay, cool. You're just calling. She submitted the information. You're calling to help her out. That's it.
Yep.
Very simple. Okay, cool. Any questions on that?
No, that's awesome.
Cool. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about lately is everything is simpler than it seems. Right? Everything is simpler than it seems. It's really like a theme I'm seeing in a lot of areas of my life. So, like, it might be like a helpful thing to think about, like, think about how you're thinking about things, right? Are things harder than they seem, right? Are they complex, or are they easier than they seem? And I would, I don't know, but what I found is like just thinking about things as like, oh, it's easier than it seems, tends to work pretty well, at least for me. Hey, Aaron, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry I'm so late.
All good. We're just talking with Ilya about his making some calls. So, Ilya, any feedback for me on that, or any questions, or is it clear, or am I being confusing, or is it?
No, it's actually really good. Really good. I think actually obviously talking to is just like opening up all this possibility. I haven't thought about any of that. I was just sort of concentrating on, this is what Module 1 says, this is how many surveys I've got to get, I'm going to get this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes a lot more sense. I actually did think about, maybe I should just call them and just try and figure out, but then I went, well, if I'm not getting any traction or huge traction with the survey, then there's a problem, So
Yeah.
That's what my thinking was. It's like, okay, well, I can't go on to the next step because I'm still stuck in kind of level 1 type thing. I'm not getting through. This is not working. I suck, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So let me tell you like a quick story about that, okay? And the quick story is that like that type of thinking will always mess you up, okay? What the type of thinking you want is like everything's gonna work, okay? Even if you don't think it's gonna work, just like in the morning, like you're gonna be like you wake up, right? And maybe I'll make a video on this. It's like you set your intentions, like everything's gonna work. It's gonna be fantastic, okay? Everything is gonna work. That's the intention, right? You don't know how it's gonna work, but you just know that it's gonna work. You know the what, you don't know the how. So a big mistake that people make, myself included, everyone, is what we try to do is we try to figure out like the what and the how. So our purpose here, like why we do these calls, is to figure out the how, right? But you gotta have faith in the what. You gotta have faith in it. Like, whatever your faith is, you gotta, yes, it's gonna work. Okay? So the story is like this. I was driving to meet this guy, okay? I was supposed to talk with him on the phone. So Danielle and Aaron, you might have heard this before, but I was supposed to talk with him on the phone. But I knew at the time I needed some money, okay? So I was like, is talking on the phone gonna make the sale, or is driving in person gonna make the sale? Okay? Driving in person was gonna make the sale. I didn't know if the sale was going to happen at all, but I just knew that me being in front of them like increased my odds 30%. Okay, so I'm like, okay, cool, 30% advantage. Okay, now it was not convenient for me to meet him at all. Okay, I had to drive like 45 minutes in traffic. His wife was sick, right? He was like, oh, and he called me like 20 minutes into it, I'm driving, like, He calls me up, he's like, oh, my wife is sick, like, we reschedule it another time. And I said, yeah, fantastic, we could do that. And I'm sitting here driving to him, right? And I'm like, yeah, fantastic, we can reschedule it. But I said, but the thing is that I'm actually in your area. I lied my ass off. I'm like, I'm in your area, right? But I'm not going to be in your area tomorrow. Okay, so I said, but you could come down to me an hour away and we can meet tomorrow. And he's like, I'm like, okay, well, listen, I'm gonna be there in like 10 minutes. Just meet me there. We'll meet there for 20 minutes, and then we'll talk about it, and then see if I can help you out. And he's like, okay. That meeting turned into like a 2.5 hour meeting, I think. Okay, and it was like five grand. Okay, but on the way, I was literally thinking, fuck my life, like. Like, what am I doing? I was about to turn around, but I had that, like, it was like this moment in time where I was thinking, like, okay, best case scenario, like, if I turn around, I know what's going to happen. I'm not going to make the sale, and then tomorrow he might not show up. So I'm like, screwed, right? And I'm like, that ain't happening. So I'm like, okay, what's going to happen if I meet him there? Like, I just did a simple, like, okay, like, if I stay at home, how many people am I gonna meet on a Friday night? Not a lot. Therefore, I need to go out, right? So I know if I stay at home, I'll meet 0 people. When I go out, I'll meet possibly worst case scenario 0 people. Best case scenario, a lot more people. Therefore, I need to go out, right? So, anyways, there was that time when I was driving and talking with him, and I was like, man, I should really turn my car around. That would be a really fucking comfortable thing to do, is just turn my car around, reschedule the call, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but I didn't do that. I was like, no, screw this. He's going to meet me there. I'm going to meet him there. I'm already on my way. But I'm going to say it in a way where he's going to choose that, right? Like, he had a good objection. My wife is sick. I need to take care of her. Fair enough. How are you going to argue with that? But he showed up. I did something where I said something where he showed up. He showed up because he needed the help. That's why he showed up, right? All the other stuff, I read that as an excuse. I knew if his wife was sick or if his wife wasn't sick, I don't care. That was an excuse. He was trying to get out of it. He probably felt some fear, and he was like thinking, oh, Gary's going to sell me some shit, right? And he's right. He was right. I did sell him some stuff, but it helped him, right? So that's what's going on. So does that help you get your mind right about it maybe a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
So do the uncomfortable thing. It's always like, if you want to have success in business, like, it's always the uncomfortable thing. Just look at all the things you need to do, pick out the most uncomfortable thing to do, and that's the one. And then look at the most comfortable thing that you could do, and that is not the one. That's how you should make your decision.
Makes sense.
Cool. All right, fair enough. All right, cool. So, who wants to go next? Aaron, Daniela, Aaron, Daniela, Aaron, Daniela.
Aaron, you go. I'll be right back.
What am I doing? Tell me more about what I'm doing.
Okay, good. All right, so let's see. What did we talk about last week for you? Oh, you wrote an ad, right? Cool. Did you write a one-page about what you do?
I didn't get the one-pager written down, but actually Danielle and I had a really good call. I think it was the day after we had our Q&A call, and she just, for a half an hour, asked me about what I do and, drilled me on it. And so I have a recording of that, of just me talking about it.
Okay, good.
And that's pretty good. And I actually have some of the content that you asked me to write out in the one-pager already written out for, I had to give it to one of my rental spaces for them to put up on their website. So I kind of have my own language around what I do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I still need to write it all down in the format that you asked. So.
Okay. So here's the good news. So if you did a video, right, and it's was it a Google Hangout like this, or?
No, it was just a phone call. So it's just a recording of the phone.
So is it audio or video?
It's audio. It's just audio.
Okay, audio. Okay, fantastic. So here's the next steps, and that audio talks about what you do and how you help people. So one, send me that audio. Okay. And two, what we're all trying to do, right, is figure out what's the free thing that we can give away. So there's always got to be a free bribe to get people in the door. Let's see if I can show you this. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, so I was sitting at Starbucks working, right? And this guy comes up, and I was like, I see him walking around, right? So I was like, what is this guy selling, right? I'm like, and then he comes over, I'm like, oh, he's going to annoy me now, right? But then, so that's what I was thinking, like, okay, this guy's going to come and annoy me, right? So I'm just working, trying to ignore him. And then he gives me, let me see if I could show you. Gives me like this thing, right? Can you see that?
Yeah, it's like a free drink.
Yeah, free drink. Cool. Okay, so now I went from, oh my god, this guy's going to try to sell me and be annoying, to, oh my god, this guy's giving me some kind of fast food for smart people. It's a terrible thing. But it says 1 free smoothie, 16-ounce meal replacement. You know, it gives me the address. Cool. So he's not, notice, like, this is actually, like, it's kind of crappy marketing, but the idea is right on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So the idea is more important. Like, what the wording is all screwed up. I would never write fast food for smart people. Okay, that makes me like think like if I'm healthy, I don't want fast food. So that's terrible. But what he does great is there's a thing for free. I love things for free. Everyone loves things for free. Okay? So then, cool. I don't know, is it enough motivation for me to stop by? Maybe. You know, I'll check it out. Right? I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I got this thing, I can get a free thing. Cool, I'll check it out. So now I come into the door. That's the goal. That's the goal of these. It wasn't to make a sale. It was to get in the door. Then I'll try the smoothie. Then I'll like the smoothie. And then guess what's going to happen next? Fucking after my workouts, I'm going to go to the smoothie place. I already go to a place that does drinks, right? I already do that. So it's just a substitution of something else, right? Now, if he said, come buy my thing, we're making a deal by get 12 for $14, you get 20 for 13. I'm like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay. But now, even if I come into the free thing and then he tells me about the deal, now I'm more interested in the deal. So, what's my point?
He got you hooked.
He's getting me. He's getting me there, right? He's got this is the beginning, the beginning of the hook.
Right.
So, how does this relate to you? How does juices and free cards relate to you?
I gotta figure out the hook.
You got to figure out the free thing.
Yeah.
And the free thing doesn't have to be your service. It could be an educational thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that audio, that could be an example of your first free thing.
Okay.
Okay? So,
yeah.
So we got a free thing, right? Our next step is after we got the free thing, is to educate people on how to buy what we got. Educate people on how to buy what we got. Because they don't know. They don't know how to buy. Okay? Think about the last time you bought something. Okay? So that was, let's say, over $100. Okay? We're going to do this as an exercise. Okay? I'll start. Okay, last thing that I bought over $100. Sandals. Actually, they were $75. Okay, so I bought a pair of $75 sandals. Okay, because it had all these reviews on it talking about how great they are. At Walmart, you can get them for $10, but these are supposed to be better. So I read the reviews, you know. And I read the reviews because I didn't know what to look for in a sandal. I just thought like, oh, flip-flops. That's it. Okay? So I started reading the reviews, trying to get myself like to figure out what is the criteria that I should be looking for when it comes to this type of purchase. Okay, I'll give you another one and then you can talk about yours. So last night I was looking for hiking water things. Like when you go hiking, there's like a water tank with a little straw. Okay? So those things, mind blown, like those things are like $75, right? I was like, oh, okay. And I was like watching this video from this guy, and he was educating me on the different ones. He's got like 5 different ones, right? And he's like, here's what I like about this one. Here's what I like about that one. Here's what I like about this one. I don't like this one. It has a bad taste. So then right away I was like, I need to be looking for one that doesn't have a bad taste. I want a good taste. I want my water to taste weird. Okay? So then I started looking through the reviews. Like I go insane about these things, right? But that's what most people do, right? I'm not different. At least I don't think I am. But people go through the reviews and they start looking for it. Oh, this one's better than this one. This one's better than this one. In other words, they have no idea. I have no idea how to buy one of these water things. I have no idea, like, should be this type of plastic or that type of plastic. How do I wash it? So if somebody created a guide last night, right? If somebody created an ad for me and they were like, looking for water container things for hiking, click this to find the top 7 mistakes that most people make when they select a water thingy. I would have been like, oh fuck, great, give me that thing. And I would have read through it, and I'd be like, okay, they're like, you need to look for this. It needs to be like a plastic that doesn't cause cancer, and then your water shouldn't taste weird. It should be easy to wash, right? I'm like, oh, okay, easy to wash, da-da-da. And now he gave me some education. I was like, okay, cool, I get it. Then he tells me about, here's the top 3 that I like. Link to Amazon affiliate link. Link to Amazon affiliate link. Link to Amazon affiliate link. Now, I'm going to buy one of those, and he's going to make an affiliate commission. Okay, that's an affiliate thing. But it's the same thing. It's the exact same principle for everything that you do. You want to teach people how to buy your thing. But not your thing. Here's the big idea. It's not teach them how to buy your thing. It's how to buy the things in the category.
Mm.
And I also have this thing. So you could buy these other things, or you could buy my thing. Wouldn't you know? It's like a coincidence. I also happen to sell these. Right? Is this making sense?
Yeah, it's making sense.
Okay, cool.
We're getting it.
So because they come to you right now, they're like, I have pain. And they're probably trying to figure out, how do I make this pain go away?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know the answer to that. They're looking for the answer to that, right? So what could you do to help them understand what the problem really is? How could you educate them, right? And so how could you do that?
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about it last time, talking about the top 10 mistakes report, so I've been thinking a lot about that, and this is something that I talk to people about anyway. I say, okay, you have all this pain, and then you go get a deep tissue massage, which can be even more intensifying. Like, it can really, it's not relaxing the muscle tissue, it's actually pretty vigorous work on the muscles, which could be like more inflammatory for that area or whatever, could cause more pain. So these are the kind of things I'm already telling clients, and I usually go about it saying, like, this is just a really different approach, and we can see how it works for your body. So it's less about telling them massage is bad, which is not true. It's just about saying this is a different way to approach. It's very light. It works with the fascia in a different way. The body can relax on a deeper level, all that kind of thing. So those are the kinds of things that I would definitely want to talk to people about and say. And I think another thing is around stress management. This is a relaxing thing, and people oftentimes, like, they're exhausted at the end of the day. They want to watch TV or like sit down and just zone out, and it's not actually taking care of any exhaustion levels at all. There's a chronic exhaustion problem that most people carry. And so that's another level. That's like another thing that I would want to say, because I think most people can relate to that, particularly in this culture. And this work goes on a much deeper level than that. So it can actually start to work on chronic exhaustion. And so it could be like the mistake is like sitting and watching TV or thinking you need more sleep or something.
Okay.
So pretty basic habits of people. Yeah, so I think those are some of the main ones, and I could probably flesh out a few more just by, I don't know, by thinking about it a little bit more.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be 7. It could be top 3. It could be top 5. I just 7 because 7-Eleven. We all love Slurpees. I don't know, but the point is like, it doesn't have to be 7. It could be 5 or 3. You just said like, you have enough information when you watch this video to just go through it and type that one page up. You could do that in like 20 minutes, maximum, right? You could be like, okay, first mistake, like thinking you need a massage, and then what you do is like. You just need a framework for it. Okay, so I'll give you one here. So, why, what, why, what, how, now.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, okay, or I'm sorry, mini what. So mini what, why, mini what, why, how, now. Yeah. So let me give you an example. Okay, so so here are my top 5 mistakes that, this is you, right? So here are my top 5 mistakes that most people make when it comes to the pain. So the first one is deep tissue massage. That's a mini what. What is it? Deep tissue massage. Okay? Actually, let me go through and then I'll break it down. So deep tissue massage. The reason why people do deep tissue massage is they think that deep tissue massage is going to release their pain. But what happens is it actually causes more toxicity in your body and stresses out and it raises your cortisol levels, and that results in more anxiety and more pain, and your body is sore, so therefore your body goes into this chaotic state, and then it needs time to recuperate, so your pain gets even worse. And how so that's how it happens. So so here's what you need to do next, right? Don't go to a massage. Don't do this. Don't do that. Do this. Do this. Do that. So do you see how I fit that into how that framework helped me to talk about? I just made all that stuff up. I don't know anything about this.
Right.
Okay, but it kind of sounded like I did, didn't it? A little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the power of frameworks. When you have a framework, you could just make shit up, but you shouldn't be making shit up. You should just like it just helps you to figure out your content. And you could have like just anchor it. Why? Oh, why this? What? Oh, here's what it is. How it works. Here's how it is. And then you could also go plus minus on each one. So why this? Why not that?
Okay.
What is it? What it's not. How does it work? How doesn't it work? What you should do now? What you shouldn't do now. You with me?
Yep.
Is this making sense for everyone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you with it?
Yep.
Cool. Danielle?
Yeah.
Checking in. Sometimes I have no idea if anybody's with me. Okay, cool. So, right, so then you could go to the next one, right? To the next thing. What's the next thing?
The next thing.
The next
Okay.
mistake.
I had mentioned stress, like dealing with stress. So it would be, trying to. I guess what I want to get across is like trying to kind of like cut yourself off by doing things like watching TV or distracting yourself, or just which isn't addressing. Maybe your body stops moving, but you're not addressing the deep exhaustion.
Okay, good. So that's a powerful one, because you would think the opposite is true, right? So that's great. That's great. You actually want to find those things. You want to find like what they think is the answer, and then what is the real answer.
Right.
Right? And that's where the value is for them, because you're giving them an insight. You're giving them the aha moment. On a call. So you're giving them the aha moment. And then, because they got value from you on that report, you can give them the next step to do. Schedule a call, download an audio, watch a video, opt in, further, whatever. So just to keep it simple, right? If you took 10 questions that people have before they come to you, right? You know what those are. They ask you them all the time, right?
Right.
What are some of those?
Some of them are like, what does this treat? Like, what symptoms will this treat? Or, you know, who goes to you? Like, who should do craniosacral work?
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's a big one.
What's another one?
What is it? Like, first of all, people just have never even heard of it. I've never heard of that before. What is it? You know, that's the first one. And then the second one is, okay, well, who would come to you? Who benefits from this?
Good.
And then another one is it like Reiki? And then another one is, yeah, that's like a big one. Some of the others, I know Daniela was great. Like, you threw a ton of questions at me, Daniela. That was good. So, I don't know. There's just usually it kind of they play off of what I'm saying too.
Okay, good, great.
Can I?
Great.
Will I be able to like drive a car afterwards? Will I be like woozy? Do I need to have a friend pick me up?
Yeah,
Right.
and that's actually something people ask a lot. So like, so will it make my pain go away? Can you heal my? Can you take this pain away? Like for people that are in urgent pain at the moment, they're like, can you take it away?
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know is the answer, but it's kind of like we'll see. Let's see.
Okay. So, great. Okay, there's a lot of important things there. Okay, so I'll just touch on briefly, like one of them. So what is it? That's an important one. Okay, so now, if I ask you what is it? Okay, describe it to me.
So what I would say is it's a light touch healing modality that works with the craniosacral rhythm in the body. So
I'm gonna pause you right there because you already lost me. Okay.
Right.
So Ilya, do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, now take a guess as to what it is.
I don't know. I thought it was some sort of massage we were talking about. We're
Okay.
talking about massage?
Okay. Are we talking about massager?
No, but it gets
Okay, good. Pause you right there. Sorry. So okay. So now, Ilya, do you know what Reiki is?
No, actually.
Okay.
I heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. Do you know what massage is?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So cranial state healing is like massage meets yoga. I don't know if it is, okay, but it's like massage and yoga. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's true, right? But, like, the way that you want to explain it to people is, like, what you said is really important. They always ask you, is it like Reiki? Good, so you want to use that. So then when you explain it to them, you'll be like, yeah, it's like Reiki for this. Okay, because you want to take something they already understand, right? They have, like, in other words, like, people only understand things in reference to other things.
Right.
So when I talk about like pricing in Module 3, like you got to have tiers because that's how they understand pricing. Otherwise, we just don't understand anything. So we only understand things in relation to other things. So if they already have what's known as an anchor inside their head, so then you like connect with that anchor, right? Oh, it's like Reiki for this. Okay, so a lot of startups do this. It's like, okay, what does your company do? We're like Netflix for MP3s, for audio, right? We're like Airbnb meets Rent My Dog. I don't know. Like, and then like you instantly get it. You're like, oh, okay, because if you just tell them what they do, they'll be like, oh, is that like Airbnb but for mattresses? You're like, yeah, it's like Airbnb for mattresses, exactly. That's how they understand things, right?
What the hell would that be?
And that's what I say a lot. I say, actually, Reiki's energy work, and they're just working with the energy body, but I'm doing physical work, and I'm also working with your energy body as well. So
Cool.
it's
I have
energy.
no idea what that means either, right? So like energy, body energy, I don't know. But if you ask me, Gary, do you know about Reiki? I say, yeah, I know about Reiki. I actually don't, but I'll be like, yeah, I know about Reiki. Well, it's like Reiki, but Reiki actually just works on your mental. What I do is I work on your mental and your physical. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That seems like I would get that. And that would be like, how does that work? And then now you got now you got me interested. So blah blah blah. But the point is that audio, right? This is when we land the plane. That audio is now your free thing.
Okay.
Cool. So now, what you want is you want to figure out a way to get as many people to request your free thing as possible. Okay. That's the secret sauce. How many people can we, like here, like they're not trying to make a sale, right? They're just trying to get the free thing. How many people, we gave out this many free cards, how many people, if they're smart, they should be like, how many people came in and gave these cards to us? Aha, it's working. They're coming in. Next step, we measure how many of the people that came in came back.
Right.
Because there's a problem there, right? Like what, I mean, I would have said like send a text. I would have said like send a text to this number to get with your email address to get 2 free smoothies, or bring one of these for 1 free smoothie. Okay, and then I would have gotten their email address, and then I would just like created like a healthy autoresponder sequence. What to look for in a juice. Not all healthy juices are actually healthy, right? Some of them are loaded with sugar. And then people drink that shit, and they're like, oh, this is so healthy. I'm going to drink 10 of these. And they wonder why they don't lose weight. Right? So that's an example. Make sense?
Yeah.
So your thing now is you got that audio, right? Now you need to put that audio up somewhere. SoundCloud, or your website, or YouTube, okay? Just send me a message if you're not sure how to do that. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
We got that handled. And then now you got the free thing you're going to give away. It's going to educate them. And now you just need a ad, and that sends them they call, right? And they could request it. You could call it I don't know what the content is. I'll know once I have a listen. Once you send it to me and I have listened to it. But basically, they'll put their name and email address, or they'll call you, and they'll listen to it, or they'll request it, and then you could send it to them. Don't worry about the mechanics. Don't get confused. Like, I don't know how to do this. It's like that. Whatever. You got the free thing. Now you just need an ad that advertises the free thing, and that's the beginning. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Cool. So again, don't get focused on like the technology. Right? Just don't worry about that for a second.
Okay.
But the idea makes sense. Like, you got the idea, right?
Yeah, I definitely got the idea.
Give away the free thing. They listen. You educate them. Cool thing is now you're educating them on not a one-to-one, but a one-to-many. You recorded it once. Now new people listen to it. Great. Keep listening to it. More people. Oh, they're educated. They're like, oh, Aaron, I like that thing that you said in the thing. I want to find out more. Fantastic. Let's set up a call. Great. Can you come in on Monday? Da-da-da-da. So referrals, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making it sound like it's easy. It's not. Okay, I just want to make this clear. It's not easy, but it is simple. Like, it's a simple process. You have to work it, but the idea is simple. Simple, not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any questions about that?
Not at the moment. I think it's just like taking the next steps. So.
Yeah.
I definitely get the concept, and I can see I have a next step, so that's fantastic.
Good, good, yeah, and that's why you're paying me money, right? Like that's the purpose, right? Is for you not to be overwhelmed with like, oh my God, I got like books and I got like shit to do and like I don't know what to do. It's for us to get on these calls and just get you to the next step. That's all you need to do. Like it's honestly all you need to do. Every week, the next step, the next step, the next step. Like we talked about last week. You've got the stairs. They're dark. You know, they're dark stairs. You're in a dark room. There's a staircase. One of the stairs lights up. Step on.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're like, oh wow, there's a next step. Boop. Step on. That's it. And at each point, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. I promise you. You're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but just like be with that. Like, yes, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Let's all do. We don't know what the fuck we're doing, but let's just do it and take the next step, and that's it. And then that's what everybody who's good, you look at them and you're like, wow, they're so good. Okay, but that's all that they did. Is they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me go find somebody who knows what they're doing, and let me take the next step. Let them show me the next step, ideally. Or sometimes they're just in the dark and like, oh, I ran into a fridge. Oh, I got into a ditch. Let me crawl back out. Oh, there's some steps, but there's a hole in them. I fell down. So, anyways, hope that makes sense. Good. Okay, cool. All right, Daniela, you're up. Aaron, Aaron, before we go, what's your action item? What's the thing that you could do?
Oh, the thing I can do, well, send you the audio, and I think still, and then just really be thinking about how to get, well, I guess then an ad would need to go up, and then how to get that ad out to.
Yeah, free report reveals the top 7 mistakes that most people make when it comes to trying to make their pain go away. With regard to something. But that's a good start. Just what I just said right there. Cool. Okay, good. When can you send me that audio?
I can do that tonight, as soon as we get out.
Okay, fantastic. Cool, so send me that, and then we'll take the next step. Cool. All right. So we're going to go long today, I try to. Eventually, at some point, it's going to be on time.
What's on time? Like an hour?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Daniela, you're up.
Okay, well, as I'm listening to Aaron, I'm thinking the whole time, like, should I be doing this? Is this my, like, third step? Like, so what I'm doing now, is I'm, like, sort of on, like, step number 1, because we were working together and, like, figuring out, like, what's my message? Like, I have this program, I'm helping women, for lack of a clear message, manifest their relationship. And the way it's been coming out is that we talked last week about how my prior message was like, dating is fun, dating is really great, like it's really positive, and you can learn a lot about yourself when you're dating. It's like a process of self-development and all this kind of stuff, and it's really like sort of upbeat. And in reality, what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing and the way I'm relating to people, it's more like, let's be honest, dating is not fun. The point of dating is not to learn more about yourself, although that could happen, and I actually think that's important. The point of dating, at least to my clients, is to not date and get into a relationship where, like, quote, they're on the couch on Sunday night, like, hanging out. Like, they've passed the entire dating phase, they've passed the flirting, and they're just like, yeah, they're psyched, they're like with their partner. Not that they want boring, they want exciting, they definitely want good sex, but they also want like a comfortable, stable relationship, right? So clearly, comfortable, stable, nurturing, someone who's going to take care of you, that kind of relationship, that's what I'm selling. And I'm getting a lot clearer on that message, and I'm thinking, I'm like, well, if that's what my women want, what do I do, or really, what must I do? What am I doing now, and what must I do to get them there, to put them in that position? Because one of the questions you asked me was, what's my method? And like that is a hard question for me to answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what my method is, and like maybe Erin can be more helpful, like telling
Okay.
about what my method is. But I could take a stab at it. It looks like talking. It looks like creating physical action items every day. It looks like ways of thinking and being positive, but I haven't put it together in a way that makes sense, that clicks.
Okay. So no problem. No problem on the method. The method is not the most important thing.
Okay.
Right. So if you don't know that, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
So we're working together one on one, and what what you just said, right, is like leaps different than what you said like when that before that call, right? Like when we just like maybe it's just mine, right? Ilya, does that sound like pretty concrete, like specific, like what Daniela just said? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's pretty specific. Yeah.
Pretty specific, right? Pretty clear, and the outcome is fairly clear, right?
Yeah.
And Erin, what about for you? Is that how do you feel about that?
Everything she just said is like right on. Like that's why people sign up for her program. That's why I signed up for her program. That's what the women I know, and I know the other women in her program. That's what they want. That's what like that's what they want. We're not all here to learn how to have fun dating.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Bingo!
Yeah.
Right, that's how you know. That's how you know, right? That's how you know is when someone says, like you, Aaron, like you said, like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. Okay. So, so that's awesome, right? So very, 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 very good. Right?
Yeah, it feels really good. Like after I got off the phone with you, I was like, oh, it was like just like a relief, like something just settled. Like I know what I'm doing here. Now it's like the how of like, oh, how do I do it? I'm not sure, but I know what I'm doing. I know what the goal is.
Good, right. So again, with the how, right? Like the biggest mistake that I've made, like that I'm really passionate about, like saying this, like just being like honest with you, is like the how is figure outable. Let's just call that word. The how, we could figure that shit out. The what we need to do the what.
Mm-hmm.
We could figure out the what, the beginning, the end, what it is, what's going to be the end, right? We could figure out all the steps in the how, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where most people get messed up is they're like trying to figure out the what, and then they're also trying to figure out the how. Okay, and as my programming instructor once used to say all the time in class, is the devil's in the details. So as soon as you get started like in the details of everything, then you're just like screwed because you don't know what's for what. You start Googling the shit, and you're like, oh, okay, this guy says that, this guy says that. Then you're more confused than when you were like in the beginning.
Yeah. A really good example that just popped into my head that's really helpful actually in what I'm going to be talking about is that when I ask women a very serious question about what they want in terms of their family, if they want to have a child, a biological baby, they tell me the how, and they tell me all the confusion of like, well, I don't know if it's possible, I might be too old, they tell me all of these different types of doubts they have about the possibility, but how it's going to work or not work, but they don't tell me the what of like, what do you actually want outside of all of this? It's like, I don't know, that connection, it clicked.
Okay, good. There's something there.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
There's something there. So they talk to you about the how.
Yeah, they talked about, yes, I asked them, what do you, and this is something that I actually recognized earlier, like, what do you want do you want a family? Do you want a biological child? Which is a very clear, and it's a very clear question, and with, maybe an unclear answer. And the response is not, yes, this is my heart's desire, and I don't know how it's possible. I have never heard that. I hear, I don't know if it's possible, I might be too old, and all of the doubts of the how, and then after some probing, there might be a very small voice that says, yeah, I kind of want that, or I don't know if I want that. whatever. Like there's an actual desire, like the actual what, but they don't lead with the what because it's way, in my opinion, I think it's just way too vulnerable to go there. And maybe they haven't given themselves the opportunity to think about the what until I asked. And that's actually quite common. They haven't actually thought about it fully and given themselves the space to answer the question.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's where you provide your value.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Here's a little like thing that you might not be aware of, okay? Me, right? Like me here, I'm not doing it for you, right? Like I'm holding the space for you to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like what you should be getting out of this is at the end you come away with it like, oh, I can do this, right? And I am doing this, and it's totally possible. In other words, like the vision that I have for you is bigger, hopefully, than the vision that you have for yourself. I'm holding the vision for you, right? So you like the answer, this is kind of like a little woo out there, but the answer is like already inside you, right? So, and it's just been like blocked, right? So then like now what we're doing is I don't have the answer. You got it. I don't have it. I just have the tools to like just dig it out. This out of the way. This out of the way. Move this. This is trash. Oh, this is a good one. Move here. That's what we're doing, right? But the answer is inside you. So that's what we're trying to do is try to like, uncover the answer inside you, and that's what you're trying to do for your people.
Mm-hmm.
The way you do that is by asking them questions, right? Questions that they've never thought about in that particular way. You'll know you're doing this right when they're like, huh, I've never thought about that.
Yeah. Then
like,
that's
a great
that
question.
Is a question. That I've had people tell me that they actually, like straight up, that they've never thought it through.
Exactly.
They got to be 43 years old and they never thought it through. That's simple. These are people who actually know how to think, you know. I'm sorry for the sirens.
That's okay. So that's exactly, like, that's such a huge point. It's exactly the same thing as I was talking about the reviews. I don't know how to buy the thing, right? Nobody ever came and be like, hey, this is your life manual. Like, turn to chapter 1. Chapter 1 is figuring out what the fuck you want, right? Chapter 2, right? Nobody, like, it didn't come like that, right? So we're all just trying to be like, huh, I wonder what I want. And that looks good. And that looks good. I wonder if I could have that with that. Is that even possible? I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But we need someone to be like, that's not possible, or that is possible. But that is possible, you're going to have to pay the price. Here's that price. Are you willing to pay that? No. Great. Maybe it's not a thing for you. Oh, you're willing to pay that price. Great. Here's how that price works. Here's what you're going to have to give up in order to get that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just walk them through that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a great realization. So that's part of the value that you provide is you help them get clarity.
Yeah.
On what it is they want.
Yep.
That's what you do. And the great thing is you don't even have to be great at it. You just have to be great at asking the right questions. That's it. Because the thing is inside them.
Right, because what I'm not doing, I mean, this is a question that I get a lot, is, and it's actually a big objection for somebody who didn't buy my program. And she's like, well, I thought that what you would be doing is parading a whole bunch of men in front of me that are good matches, and then I could just choose from one of them. She didn't say it that way. And so it's like, okay, I have to be clear about what I'm not. Like, I am not a matchmaker in that way. Like, I'm not, and what I am is I help you, like, get clarity. And so that your person appears, so that you become your own matchmaker, so that, you know, you have your person on the couch on Sunday night. But what I'm not going to do, yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Erin? I don't know.
I'm like, you're not a dating service. Like, you're here to help people, like, grow into who they are so that, you know, whatever happens, they're fine. Like, I mean, that's kind of what I think it is, right? Like, ultimately, I mean, it's the same work I'm doing. Like, exactly what you said, Gary. It's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just there to facilitate. Like, the healing is already in someone, right? Like, I'm just there to facilitate. So, like, you're doing the same thing, Daniela. Like, and your method, particularly, I think, is one of, because you have this yoga background and because you like care about women, you're teaching self-care, you're teaching confidence building, you're teaching seeking out patterns and how to remove those patterns, and so there's ultimately a deep empowerment happening, and when that happens, when that occurs in this area of someone's life, then attraction can occur in that area of someone's life, and whether they believe that or not, that's just sort of what happens. So either way, they walk away feeling more empowered and feeling more okay. Usually that helps attract another person into their life, whatever. But like,
Yeah.
if not, they're just way more okay, you know?
Yep.
Thanks. Thank you.
There you go.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
There you go. Right. So, what was I gonna say on this?
Asking the question.
Yeah, asking them the questions that they haven't asked, they haven't thought about.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They haven't thought about it.
How do you sell that, Gary? I mean, like, seriously, like, how do you say, I'm going to ask you the things you haven't thought of? They're like, well, I haven't thought of it, so I don't know what you're going to talk about.
I'm going to ask you what you set the agenda. You say, listen, I would like to ask you some questions today to see if I can better understand what you're looking for. See if I could offer you some help. Would that be all right? That's your agenda, or that's your question to, like that. Yeah, that's your agenda. Like here's how this works. Here's how this call works, right? What I'm looking like. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm not looking for, right? And all I want to know at the end of this call, if you could tell me, is that something that makes sense to you, or if it's something that doesn't make sense to you? Is that something you could do?
Yeah. Me? Yes.
No, I mean, no.
Them.
That's
Right.
Yeah. That's what you say.
Okay.
So then at the end, they're like, you could ask them, does this make sense to you? They'll say yes.
So you can do that.
They'll say no, either way. The point is to make a decision. That's the point. It's to make a decision. To do something, get it handled, or to not do it and get it handled. Both of them are a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So,
something else that's been coming up, and it seems obvious, but it isn't, is that a lot of objections I've heard are, I'm just not so sure that, like, I need to be focusing so much on this right now. I should be focusing on this aspect of my life right now. I should be focusing on my work. I should be focusing on something else. Or I probably should be focusing on this, but I haven't focused on this ever, and it's really scary and daunting, and I don't know if I want to. Or if I focus on it, maybe like I'll be too into it, and I'll be too tunnel vision, and like you're supposed to be like when you're not focusing on it, things should happen. So to me, that's all like part of the same stuff, which is, yeah, you have to actually put in. There's value. Yeah, I got it. Totally. But like, it's a common theme, which is you probably should think about doing a program like this, But like, I don't know. How do you respond to that, Gary?
Easiest thing in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world. Okay. This is a common.
How's that working for you?
What's that?
Which is like what? How's that working for you? Not focusing on this or not?
No, it's a common objection. Okay, like it's a common objection. Like, okay, like what is that? What is that? What is that? Like, what does that mean? What they're saying there, right? It means. What does it mean? Let me ask you. When they say that, right? What is that a manifestation of, or what is that an expression of?
Fear. Shame.
Fear. Yeah. It's fear. It's fear in action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we all have it. Like, you're no different. I'm no different. Like, when we're faced with a situation and we're like, oh, you got to pay for this to fix it. You're like, ah, maybe I don't really need this. Yeah, maybe I'm okay. Okay, but guess what? I got definitive proof for you that is not the case. I got definitive proof, right? There's no arguing to it. You ready for it? They got on the call.
Right.
They wouldn't get on the call if they weren't interested. They wouldn't get on the call if they didn't have a need.
Right.
You have a car lot. They walked onto the lot. They didn't walk into Jack in the Box. They walked into your car lot. Why? Because in their mind, they're thinking about buying a car. That's why they walked in, right? You build your process. Like, later I'll show you exactly how to do it. But, like, you build your process so that they walk in. Like, free thing. They walk in, they have a need. Somebody who's not in pain doesn't need help with pain. Somebody who's in a great relationship doesn't get on calls with people like you and be like, I'm in a great relationship right now. And every Sunday, me and my man, we're kicking in, we're watching shows, we're having great sex. We leave the house sometimes to have some pizza. Then we have some more great sex. I wonder if I could talk to somebody about, like, how I can improve this relationship. That shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? So I got definitive proof that what they're saying to you is, grade A, bullshit, because they got on the call. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
Everything else that they say is a lie. Okay? Is a lie. But it's not their fault. This is kind of like it's not their fault that it's a lie. There's different categories of lies. There's like lies you tell others, lies you tell yourself, and then lies you don't know are lies. Okay, that third one is the most dangerous one. Lies that you don't know are lies.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal is like to help them uncover those. Right? Lies they told themselves that they don't know are lies.
With the questions that I haven't thought of, like, and that type of thing. Like,
yeah.
What are you lying to yourself about? That you don't know you're lying. Mm-hmm.
What do you know for sure that you think is right that could be wrong?
What do you know for sure that I think is right that could be wrong?
Yeah.
What do I know that I can't do?
I got you thinking. You see? I got you with that question. Now I got you thinking.
Yeah.
You see? Now you got you thinking like, okay, I just stopped you in your tracks. I'm like, what do you know for sure that you know for sure is true, but could be wrong?
That there are spiritual guides around me. I believe that to be true, and it could be wrong. Can't prove it.
There you go. Right? But my point is, like, what people think is the answer is not, and what they usually think is the best course of action is not. It's something else. Right? So when we try to fix things ourselves, just in general, right? For guys, it's like, okay, this electrical outlet's not working. I'm going to fix this. Or, I don't know, I don't fix electrical outlets, but like my car's not working. Like, let me go in there and I'll fix it. And then they fuck shit up more. Because they're like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to, like, disconnect that first and then put the other thing. But an expert would have been like, no, you can't do that first. You got to do these things for you. Got to check the stuff and do the filter, and then you could change the oil. You can't just pour oil in there. No, that messes up their car. You'll blow the engine. Oh, really? I just thought it was just like, oh, it's like that. See what I'm saying? So, like, what they think the solution is doesn't matter.
Right.
They don't know it.
They don't know what the solution is, but they
don't
have
know.
ideas about what it could be, and they're probably wrong.
This is good news and great news. Okay?
Why?
Because they're coming to you with no idea about the solution. So literally the answer could be anything.
Yeah. This is true. They don't know what the solution is.
They don't know the solution is. Okay? I had a guy sign up with me, and he was like, oh, are you going to help me with, like, what I'm doing with this? I'm like, no, because that's not working. Why would I even look at? He's like, are you going to look at this? I'm like, why would I look at something that's not working? We have to create a whole new thing for you. Nothing that you're doing is working. I wouldn't look at that. Why would I look at that? That's retarded. No, I would not look at that. You've been trying to do that for 6 months or a year? He's like, oh, but it's not working. Great. Why look at it? No point. Do something else.
Okay. which
I
is
mean,
good. So I can say, okay, now you got to stop what you're doing, and that's a good point too, which is a lot of women come and say, like, I think this with everything, this whole thing, which is, okay, well, can you look at my like online profile? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with what I'm doing, what I'm currently doing?
yeah.
And I've said this before, and then I stopped saying it. Maybe I should start saying it again, which is the first step is to stop what you're doing. You know, stop what you're doing, whatever you're doing, and then let's do this instead.
Hmm.
What do you think?
So
I don't know if that's true. But there's something to thinking of it differently.
there's three things, okay?
Yeah.
What you want to, so at the end of the call, so this is like a sales thing. At the end of the call, the only obvious thing that they should do would be to sign up with you. That's the goal. That should be the only viable option as to what the next course of action is. The way that you do that is you uncover what of all the things that they've tried before that haven't worked. List out all those things. Get those out. I've tried this, I've tried that. Why? Because at the end, they're going to try to sell you on why they should go back to doing those things that haven't worked. Maybe they didn't do them hard enough. It's so retarded. I swear to God, it's the most retarded thing. Okay? It's so retarded. It's like, I've been lifting weights for 3 years, okay, but I haven't gotten bigger, I haven't gotten stronger. And then the coach says, like, I'm an Olympic coach, and I help people get stronger. You know, and I've trained professional athletes, and some of them have gone to the Olympics. I can help you. You know, maybe if I just go back in the gym and I just, instead of an hour, I work out an hour and a half, then I'll get the results. Maybe if I just wake up at 6 a.m. instead of going at noon, I'm going to try that, and then let me get back to you. No.
It's like what Max was saying, like how, it's like too terrible to think that all the work you've been doing hasn't been worthwhile.
Yeah. The big thing you want to figure out is what is it costing them to stay where they're at. That's the big thing. So everyone on this call has gone through this. With me. Ideally, I think. What is it costing to stay where you're at right now? Add that up for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when the cost of staying where they're at exceeds the investment to work with you, that's when they'll make that change. It's like, oh, it's costing me this, it's costing me that. Those costs are, by the way, non-obvious. So part of your job as the salesperson here is to connect up. Connect up all the pieces. So they got the pieces, like they got the pieces, right? And our job is to connect them up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this means that, and that means that's because of that. Okay? That's our job, right? The reason why you're here, how did you get here, is one of the questions. Like, how did you get to this? I'm curious. How did you get to this position? What have you tried in the past that hasn't worked? Tried this, I've tried that. Okay, good. That hasn't worked? Okay, good. Would you agree with me that it's probably not a good idea to try those things anymore if they don't work? Or maybe you haven't done them in the right way. Would you agree with me on that? Yes. Good. So would you agree that it probably doesn't make sense to go back to doing those things, right? Good. You've eliminated that objection.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's only like a couple of things that you need to make a sale. It's like, why me? Why now? Why me? Why now? Right? Why not put it off till later?
Or me as in them.
What's that?
When you're saying why me, is it me as in me or me as in them?
No, why you? Why work with you?
Well, okay. Okay.
Because they can fix the problem. Maybe they can fix the problem with someone else. So you got to figure out. Sometimes I just ask people, like, why me? Like, why do you want to work with me?
Mm-hmm.
Try it at the end of the conversation. If they do, like, okay. Let me ask you a question. Why do you want to do this with me? And they'll answer that question. I like you. I like your videos. I think you're cool. I like your smile. I like you do yoga. I do yoga. I feel whatever they say.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fear. It's always fear. What stops people myself included, I make no exception, what stops people everywhere, every day, is fear. Fear of doing the wrong thing. Fear of looking stupid in front of their friends. Fear of making a mistake. So you got to get all those out in the open, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're not telling you, right? So they're like, oh, I need to think about it. What they're saying is, I'm not sold on it. I'm not sure that you're the right person. So what I do is I say there's a 3-layer of objections, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like an objection of what they say, and then the thing that's the real thing.
Yeah.
And usually, the first thing that they say, we call that's bullshit, and then the second thing, and that's bullshit, and then the third thing, that's bullshit, and then at the fourth thing, you might get like, oh, that's the thing. And you can't deal with the objection at that like BS layer 1. You can't deal with it at BS layer 2, and you can't deal with it at BS layer 3. You got to get to the root of the tree. So what I do is, like, sometimes, like, if someone tells me no, or they're like, I'll think about it, I'm like, listen. I said, tell me you don't like me. Tell me you don't believe I can help you. Tell me you don't like my face. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. But don't tell me this. Don't tell me that, because I don't buy that. If I want to be aggressive, I'll say that. But if, like, you don't have to be that aggressive. But sometimes, and I've had this, many cases where someone said, well, I'm not sure that I've gotten the result that, I said, well, is it that you, oh, here's what I say. I say, I'm giving away all my secrets here. Hold on a second. Here's exactly what I say. I said, is it that you don't believe in me, that I can get you the results? I say usually when here's a line. Usually when someone says that, you want to take notes or go back on this video. Usually when someone says that, it means this. Okay? That the implication in that phrase implies that I've heard this before, which means I'm not new to this. I'm an expert. I deal with people like you every day who say things like this every day. I am more prepared than you are. I know what I'm doing, and you don't, so let me help you out. Okay? So, usually when people say this, it means one of 3 things. Either they don't believe what I'm saying, my claims. They don't believe in themselves that they can get the results that they really deserve. Or a combination of those 2.
Okay.
So my question to you, Dawn, is which one is it for you?
So that's kind of cool. You didn't ask them, like, you didn't have to get it. You didn't have to have them admit that. Like, well, I'm kind of fearful that maybe I'm not going to be able to go through this, because that's a pretty painful thing. You just basically say, here it is. That's cool.
You don't make them wrong. You don't make them wrong, and you don't address the objection at the BS level. You got to get to the root thing. So you got to unpack the objection. Okay? Objections are always coming down to one thing. I don't know you. I don't trust you. I don't like you. I don't believe that what you're saying is true. That's it. There's like a couple of, like one of those things.
But that was just cool that you made it easy for them. You didn't make them say it.
Yeah.
You just make them assume it and then talk about it.
Yep. And then what happens is, like, example not too long ago was like a guy said, well, I haven't seen some of your success stories, or he said, do you have some success stories? I said, let me ask you a question. If you saw some success stories, would that be enough information for you to make a decision?
What did he say? No.
He said, yeah. And then I knew I got him. I knew I got him because I had success stories, motherfucker. But you see, that's what's called a tie down. I didn't just say, yeah, I have success stories, because at that point he could, and then I'd be like, let me show you some of them. He'd be like, oh, these look good, but I'm still not sure. So then now I have to, like, I closed one box, but now I have to. I'm like trying to keep up with these open boxes. Close one, open box, close one, open box, another one, lid flies out. What we want to do is we want to have all the boxes and be like, oh, okay, here are the tops to these boxes. Cool, so if we can get all the tops here, then you're in, right? Yeah. Okay, great. So let's address this one by one. Okay? Success stories. Fantastic. Open up YouTube, type in my name. I'll give you 3 minutes, pick one out, listen to it. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to go grab a drink. Okay? Cool. Which one did you like? Oh, I like that one. That one was, okay, cool. Does that answer your question? Yes. Fantastic. Great. Now here's what's going to happen next. I close. That's it. Here's what's going to happen next. Da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. Visa, MasterCard, yada, yada. Okay? And you're going to get the details and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, John, before I get you started, I have a couple of rules. Okay? The first rule is that I only work with people that refer other people to me. Okay? That's how I built my business, through referrals. Okay? Could you refer one person to me that might be like the same like you, that might have a need for this service? Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Or could you think of like one name? Yes. Okay, fantastic. The other rule is, like, could you make me a video testimony or case study once you got the results? Yes. Fantastic. Great. We'll get you started here right here in a second. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, seriously, you could sell, like, this method, you could sell anything, honestly. Like, you could sell anything. Just you know, of course, sell something that you could honestly deliver and be ethical about it.
So,
or not. No, I'm just kidding. No, sell something out there.
So that's all, like, perfect.
Ilya, are you paying attention over there? This is making sense.
Yep.
Are you with this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
I am, but I guess you guys sort of are way ahead of me. I'm just thinking about those phone calls I got to make.
Ilya, you know why? Because they've been getting on these calls.
I know.
They've been getting on these calls. That's why. So if you get on these calls, you'll be just where they're at or further.
But you see, the thing I realized today, that the biggest thing that I've been missing out on is not doing the Q&As, because that's just a big mind shift for me. Like, I would not have been able to get there just by looking at modules and stuff like that, but getting on the call with you, that just, like, bang, breakthrough. So I know what to do and what needs to be done, basically. What the next step is like Aaron said, you know, you got to just think about the next step. So that's what's going through my head now, I guess.
Fantastic.
But and I got to get back to work in 3 minutes.
Cool, awesome. I'm glad you got on, and I hope that you get on more. And it's actually, I'm going to take my fault. I'll take credit for it. Probably, like, what I need to do is, like, make a video, be like, listen, y'all need to get on the Q&A calls. I won't say y'all, but, like, you guys, people need to get on the Q&A calls. It's very important, and it'll help your life, you know, all this stuff. So cool. So I'll do that. But yeah, definitely get on them, because I think it'll be a lot of help to you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So Danielle, where were we at? We're talking about connections.
So about, like, my message and obviously the strategy.
Oh, by the way, yeah, the recording is going to be posted. So if you, like, need to go, like, no problem, just go, and then I'll post up the recording so you could.
Oh, yeah, I got to head off. Yeah. I took some time to work.
Cool. So,
Get back into it. Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Come back next week. Drinks on us.
We'll do.
Cool.
We'll do.
Cool. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, Danielle.
So I'm just thinking, like, cool, I really want to get to the point, I mean, and you know this, I want to get to the point where I am having those kinds of conversations at a higher level, where I'm really fielding objections and, like, you know, getting, like, I'm enjoying the sales calls, you know, so I'm, like, really getting into people's, like, stuffs and listening and hearing their objections, and I want to get there, but there's, like, a gap now, because, as you know, I've been, like, paused, and I haven't made any sales. One, because I'm actually doing the program, and creating the program, but also because, you know, there's a whole I don't know what the next step is. I don't know, and you know, but I don't know the steps between where I'm at now and where I'm going to have a fair amount of prospects to talk to and have those sort of higher level calls. You know?
Yep. Yep. Can you guys give me 2 minutes? I need to go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll be back.
All right, let's all do a bathroom break. Bye.
Okay, bathroom break. Okay. Yay.
Hi. Hi. Should we stay on when he goes off and do our?
What's that? Well, I mean, the whole thing's getting recorded, so don't say anything,
Okay.
naughty.
All right.
Which I had to remind myself. I was like, maybe I'll tell Erin about my date. But I'm like, no, I don't think I can do that.
We'll do that on our.
Much better. Oh my God. But I gotta say, I'm blowing up like whoa. Everyone's emailing me and texting me. It's all very exciting.
Yeah. Is it getting pretty intense?
No, it's just once you introduce me to the Coffee Meets Bagel, it's just a lot to like feel.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a lot of people that I think I'm a little too eager.
Yeah. That's okay. It'll die down when you're.
I guess so. I'll be like, wait, I don't need to be so excited about everybody. Maybe they're not my match, but anyway.
Right.
So you have a client tomorrow?
I have 2 clients tomorrow, and what else is going on? Oh, and then I might go up to see my teacher.
Nice. Where is up?
Nyack. He's in Nyack. Uh-huh.
Nice. That sounds great.
Yeah, I was just there over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Reunion and got to do a bunch of work, and it was just like a whole bunch of stuff with some people from my training group, and then also people from training groups the years before, people that have been doing it for like years. So.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back. All right. So sorry. Okay. Gotta have a bear. You never know. If you can't have a girlfriend, you gotta have a bear friend. Okay. So what were we talking about? Objection.
Objections. The gap between fielding objections and, I don't know, personally where I'm at right now. I don't know what the next steps are.
So what they're like, it's like they're looking to you to like make a decision. They're looking to you. Okay? So by definition, they're confused as to what they should do. And what they want to do is they want to retreat back into what's comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like making a sale is like a little bit complicated, right? Because this is why sales is complicated, because you're trying to like get someone to make a decision to change their life, right? And admit in a way that like what they're doing is not working, right? And pay you money for that, for that guidance, right? So there's like a lot of things involved, like fears, conscious fears, and then the worst one, unconscious fears. Fears that they're like, they won't even admit to like themselves or their mother or anybody else. They're so wild, you know. Like, okay, I can't admit that to myself. Like it's just too far out there.
Yeah.
So, where am I going with this? So they're looking to you to make a decision for them. Is really essentially, but or not like that sounds kind of bad. Like I think what they're looking for is the tools for you to give them the tools to make make a decision that's best for them. I think that's what they're looking for.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does actually. I mean, so yeah, at a higher level, we're mainly like a large percentage of the call is really educating them in one way or another, so that they feel empowered and can make a decision.
It's educating. It's not so much. I wouldn't say educating. It's more like uncovering of their needs and problems and implications of those problems. Implications are, you know, you asked the 5 whys, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, you know, 5 whys is, what is it? I would just use the framework. What is it? 5 whys. Well, 5 whys is a technique like to uncover what the root cause of a problem is instead of dealing with it at the problem level, right? So you can't fix problems at the level, like this is like an Einstein or whatever quote. It's like you can't fix problems at the level at which they were created.
Right. Right.
You have to ask 5 whys. Oh, you're 40 years old, or you know how old is like you know whatever. Like you're 40 years old, you're not married, you don't have a kid, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Got to uncover why is that. I mean, maybe you chose that. Right? Maybe you had other priorities. Maybe you did this and this, that. We have to uncover why it is that way.
Yeah.
Right? And then figure out what's not working about that. Right? Are you happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to change that? Why change it? Why is changing it important for you? That's an implication question. Why is changing it important for you?
Okay.
What would happen if you didn't change it? Then what? Then it would be a fucking disaster. Okay, well, is that something you want? No. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah. But what happened if you didn't change it? A lot of bad things. Like you'd be sad, you'd be lonely, you'd be, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but the important thing is here is that what the major kind of theme is what you say can be disputed. In other words, you could say something and I could agree or disagree. Okay? You could make a statement and I could agree with that statement or I could disagree with that statement. But if I say it as the prospect, then it's true.
Okay.
You see? So there's no arguing if I say it. As a prospect,
All I have to do is ask the question as to have them explain why.
that's all it is. That's all it is.
Customers
So
always
5-minute
right.
video. All you got to do is just ask the questions and then they explain what it is.
Okay.
And then the other thing is when people are talking, their understanding, it's like I'm talking, you're listening, right? But what you would like to do is talk and have me listen.
Is that a question?
No, that's a statement. But you notice how I asked it? I asked it in a question tonality. That's what made you think it was a question, right?
Yes.
So tonality is actually very important too when you ask questions. Tonality, questions have an upbeat. They're like, oh, you know, oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Like a upbeat.
Right.
Statements have a,
So wait, so what was the statement? The statement is, I prefer to be talking and you listening?
Yeah, well, okay, so the general rule is that they should be talking 80% of the time. You should be talking 20% of the time.
Right. Right.
You should definitely not be talking more than them, and you should definitely not be equally talking.
Okay.
One of the reasons I have you record your calls is to see if you're making statements or asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the purposes. And if you're, because the reason why is statements could be agreed or disagreed. So point of fact could be argued.
Right.
But if I ask you a question, I said, let me ask you a question. Okay, whatever comes next, all right, you said it.
Right.
And then they say, well, maybe I should make a change. If I say, maybe you should make a change, they're like, I don't know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Okay? But I'll be like, well, let me ask you a question. What would happen if you didn't make this? Da, 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 da. Okay, so do you feel like, why do you feel like now's the time? Oh, because this and this and this and that. Okay. So, would you say that, so it sounds to me like what I'm hearing you say is that you want to make a change. Is that right? Am I hearing you correctly?
Right.
Yes, I want to make a change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
No arguing that now. They said it. Like, you said it. I didn't say it.
Yep.
Kind
No,
of
it's
did.
cool. I like using that. I like that a lot. Be like, so what I'm hearing is, tell me if I'm correct.
Yeah, you want to check in. You notice, by the way, I keep saying, maybe you didn't notice it, but I'll bring it to your attention. I keep saying, does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Right? I say that a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want to check in. I want to see if somebody's lost. Right? If I see, like, Ilya and he's, like, kind of back here, I'm like, Ilya, hello? Checking in. Are you paying attention? Are you with me? Okay? You got to have everybody engaged. Because sometimes you lose people, and then by the time you figure out you lost them, it's too late. They're already lost. Got to check in.
Right.
Is this making sense? Notice I'm nodding my head. Is this
Yeah.
making sense?
Yeah.
I do this. I do this in person because I want them to say yes. I don't even do it consciously anymore. I'm like, is this making sense? They're like, yes. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually do that. I mean, and Aaron knows this just from teaching yoga. It's like a really weird, a kind of obnoxious tick. Like, I'll be teaching and like without even I'll be even demonstrating and without even saying it, I'd be like, I'd say good, as if I'm saying good to everybody, and it's like I'm not saying good to anybody. I'm saying good to myself or demonstrating. I'm like, okay, step your right foot forward, good. I'm like, why did I say that? It's so silly, but yeah, right?
Exactly. Because someone who's doing yoga, they're like, I wonder if I'm doing it good. I wonder if can I get some approval from the teacher, please? Yes. Good. You're doing it good. Good. Great. Fantastic. That's what we all want. We all want it. You had this thing, I was looking in your group the other day, like, you had this thing, like, how to compliment a guy.
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
good.
Yeah.
Good one.
That's great. Yeah, we want to know. We're doing it good. Great.
Might be right.
Fantastic. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where we're going with this, but we're talking about objections, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my question really is, and it might be for our call tomorrow, but what should I be thinking about next? Like, is it really just like the how of getting more prospects so I can have this conversation? Am I ready to start having these types of conversations? I mean, what do I need to know first?
How do you mean?
I'm not making sales calls right now. I know. I'm not making sales calls. I'd like to make sales calls. I don't know how to think about how to sell this program now. You know what I mean? Like, the way I'm selling it is not correct, and I need to change the way I'm selling it, and I don't know how to sell it, and I don't have a prospect, so who am I selling to, and how am I going to have that conversation?
Okay, yeah. There's a few things there, right? It's not like okay, yeah, like you just
I
need
got
to.
problems. I got 99 problems. I got stuff.
You got 99 problems. Um, okay, so what we need to do is we need to figure out what's the first thing that we need to do, right? Because not all these things are in the same priority level. There's some things that are high priority, some things that are low priority. We're going to start with the higher priority things first. So if you unpack what you said there, right? It's like, okay, I want to talk with people and make sales. I don't have enough people to talk to, right? So the first thing there is there's two things. Okay, so the one is you can make sales, like how to make sales right away, or how to build a system that's going to work for you long term.
Right.
They're kind of they're a little bit opposites in a way.
Okay. And even in that moment, I'm like, oh, there's a system. Okay, I kind of thought there would be a system, but I didn't know there was a system. So thank you.
Yeah, there's a system for sure.
Mhm.
Your goal, I think, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but your goal is to build a system that consistently brings people in to your funnel.
Correct.
Right? That's the goal.
It is.
So the way that you do that, so then, okay, so that's like, okay, we got to do this. But the first thing is, what's the free thing? I come back to the free thing. What's the free thing that we could give away that has high value? That's the question you want to be asking. What's the free thing that I can give away? What's my best thing? My best thing. My most thing. The thing that people would pay me a lot of money, or I would charge people a lot of money to teach this to them. And how can I give that away for free? And then once it's valuable, and people say to you, "Oh my God, I got the free thing." By the way, Aaron, their free thing should blow their mind. Blow their mind. Let me give you an example. Okay. There's this guy. I opted on to his list because I opt into like a lot of people's lists for research. It was so cool what he did. He gave this tools for success type of thing, like a free worksheet thing, okay? And mind map, task breakdown, affirmations, vision board, cost calculations, victory sheet, powerful questions, task managers, routine, your daily routine, stakes, calendar. I mean, this sounds like a lot of good stuff. So I opted into his list and I printed this thing out. I was like, oh, okay, this looks cool. I've never seen this before. And then he has this thing here, which is like create your like goals, like for your stuff, and then the number one goal you have, right here. Cool. Okay. So, and then arrange the actions from page 1 to achieve your goals in order of priority. What are the things that you need to do?
You sent you a whole booklet?
No, it was a free PDF. I printed it out.
Oh.
Because I was looking at the PDF and I was like, oh, this is some good horse shit. I was like, this is awesome. I'm like, I print this out. So then I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, because I was planning some goals. And then he had here affirmations. Create a story about yourself that's going to come true. I was like, awesome. I'm digging this. Right? I love it.
Okay.
I love it. So, I'm probably going to... What's that?
It's a book of blank pages.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That should be your aha moment. You should have an epiphany moment here, right here. Let's take a moment of silence. That should be your aha moment. It's a book of blank pages.
Yeah.
Okay? But guess what? Now I can make it mine. Because to you they're blank pages, but to me they're my future. Right? I'm designing my future, and me, because I'm a person that's like, woo, right? It's like I need something specific. I need someone to be just like I'm doing it with you here. I need someone to do it for me. I need to be like, oh, here are my goals. Oh, okay, put those into action items. Okay, I can do that. I can do that next step. But if I start thinking about my goals, I'm like, oh, this and that, and it's just like a weird gray fog comes over me, right? So this makes it clear. And then he has a little thing here that says attach the image of your, like, so it's a little vision board type of thing, like your dream car, and then attach an image. So see, like, he's breaking down. This is not something radical, right? It's not something like, wow, right? But in a way it is, because now I get to do the thing step by step. That's where the value is, right? Everyone knows what they need to do in a way, but they're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. They're not doing it. How can we make them do it? Step by step. That's the value. That's why they pay you money. Oh, he has a cool thing here. I'll just, I'm like, you can see I'm very excited about this. Fill in a blank check. Blank check. It's got like check numbers. I thought it was awesome. I'm gonna copy all this. Cost to fulfill dream. You know, your current age, your first third of your life, your second third of, like, this is awesome. Like, I get to plan my thing, and then oh, poor habits replaced with better habits. So you just write down, oh, poor habits, smoking crack. Better habits, not smoking crack, right? Doing yoga, stop smoking crack, start doing yoga. There we go. Cool. So, what's my point there? Why am I showing this to you?
They can be open-ended questions, and a lot of questions in a free thing, maybe.
Well, Aaron, okay, good. Aaron, what do you think? Why am I showing that to you? What's the point?
Because it's a really great tool to give away so that people can start creating whatever they can get interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like other people I opt into their list and they send me a thing, and that I have, like, it's the same thing for you, right? You opt in, maybe you use like a weird email address at first. You're like, I'm gonna give my other email address, not my main one, right? Danielle, yes? That's a yes. I think. Is that true?
Gary, we can't see you anymore. Oh, there you are.
Okay. Hello.
Hiya.
Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
I was just saying, like, when you opt into a person's email address, right? You're looking to get the free thing. Right?
Mhm.
You're not looking to buy anything yet. You're just looking for the free thing. So you might put in a weird email address, right? Your non-main email address, the other email address you set up. Who's with me? Aaron's, you with me?
Yeah. Yep.
Danielle, with me?
Yep. I'm with you.
Guess
Yeah.
what? That's what everyone does. We all think we're so smart. Everyone does that, right? So now I got him on my second email address, right? But I printed out his thing, so now he's kind of like on my radar a little bit, okay? And I'm looking, is the next thing he's gonna send me, is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be good? And then I might consistently start opening up his emails, and then I might give him my real email address, because I'm like, oh, this guy's good. This gives me good shit, actionable stuff. I printed out his stuff. Seems like a good guy. Cool. So that's how you build a relationship. So for you, why am I showing this to you? Is because this guy, I didn't know him. It's like every other guy. Like, there's a ton of guys. In every space, there's a ton of people competing, right? This guy's trying to compete. But guess what? The other guys, I didn't print out their shit. I printed out this guy's shit. Okay, so now he's on my radar. Who knows? It might go somewhere. I might buy something from him, right? He might offer a thing later on. But we're starting the relationship. He's on my radar. Beep, 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 beep. So that's what you want. You want your free. The reason why I'm telling you this, you could have the exact same thing. For women, you could make a little worksheet. And they're like, figuring out your ideal man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What to look for. What you like in a man. What you don't like in a man. Past relationships that haven't worked out. Why haven't they worked out? Right? What are some of the reasons why you think they didn't work out? How do you meet guys now? Are you meeting the wrong guys? Right? You know, how do you know if the guy is wrong? I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you know if he's right? This. Did your last boyfriend have this?
Mhm.
Nope. Okay. What do you look for? Like, oh, like for me, like I'll just like I want a girl who's fit. So guess what I do? I go to the gym. Right? I go to the gym. You see me go to the gym. I post up. I go to the gym. Why do I go to the gym? Because I want to meet a girl that goes to the gym. Right? I want a girl who's fit. So I said, I gotta meet a girl who's fit. So then I decided in the epiphany moment, I gotta be fit because the girl I want to be with is fit.
Yep.
That kind of makes sense to me.
Right, because
Right.
the girl you want to be with wants someone who's fit.
Yeah, because she wants to be. So it's like, so that's another thing you could be like. What do you look for in a man? Great. How would you rate your ideal man in this categories? Fitness, faithfulness, fruitiness. I don't know. Right? The 4 Fs, whatever you call them. Right? Funness. Right? And then rate yourself. Now rate yourself on a scale of those. Okay?
Mhm.
Great. Now look at those. Do you see a problem? Do you see a mismatch? I don't know. Like I don't know. Like but you gotta have something, a model that they can follow, like a little workbook. I really like see for someone like Erin, she doesn't value workbooks like this because maybe she thinks about way in a different way, right? Am I right, Erin? Maybe not. I don't know.
I think it's a cool. I actually really like the blank pages. I'm just saying, like, as far as what he put together, it wasn't a lot of like time.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another epiphany that you should have. He didn't. I bet you it took him. I don't know. I mean, there's a calendar in the back. You know, I mean, he came up with the idea. He outsourced the design, right? And some graphics person put it together. You know, maybe a day worth for work, if that. Okay, it's just blank pages with some pictures. Okay, but the perceived value is high.
Mhm.
Okay, but here's another thing. I had to print it out. Okay, that's something I had to do. That's work for me. I didn't want to print it out. If you would have offered me, to send that thing for free, and I pay the shipping after I saw it, download the PDF, and at the end of the PDF, he said, "Hey, do you like this thing? Want to get it for free? I'll send it to you. Just pay for shipping. $3, $4, $5. Fantastic. Would have paid him for it. No problem. And then when I paid for it, he's like, "Wait, before you go, I have a course that teaches this. It's like 6 weeks." I'm like, "Oh, cool, a course. Okay, let me read the book first." Try the book.
Right, and this is the first book that you need in the course.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's like same thing. Like you need to have like a checklist, something you can give away, like a checklist. Think checklist. What to look for. Design your ideal man. Design your ideal man exercise. Download the Design Your Ideal Man exercise and a video explaining how to do the ideal man exercise worksheet.
Okay.
Okay. Erin, same thing applies to you. You could do this as well. Not sure how yet, but there is a way.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to fit my stuff into the workbook model, but I think the report model makes more sense for me.
Yeah.
Like it's giving information.
Yep. Report, like it could be a combination, like a report checklist. You could give away a checklist. How do you know when your pain is bad enough?
Yeah.
Checklist.
Mhm.
Are these signs true for you? Comment yes or no. Da-da-da, yes. Da-da-da, no. Da-da-da, yeah. Or you could score them. How about this? You could say, okay, like have you ever done like these quizzes where like if you're 30 and below, it means this. If you're between 30 and 50, it's this. If you're over 50, you're crazy. Right? It's like, okay, like that's what people like. They want to know where do they stand.
Yeah.
Like where do they stand? Am I crazy? Not crazy? Fun? Not fun? Uber fun? Static fun? That's what people want. So like you give them that evaluation. They want to be evaluated. We all want to stand. What's our IQ score? Take the pop quiz. Oh, okay, cool. What's your favorite, your character is most related to this Seinfeld character. I wonder who my character is. I hope it's Jerry. I don't know, right? For you, maybe it's Elaine. I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody with it?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So all that to say what? You need a free thing, and you make the free thing amazing. You make the free thing awesome, right? But don't even start it with awesome. Of course not. You start it with a crappy thing. You get the thing out there. That's
Okay.
it. You start with the crappy thing. Get the thing out there. Get it on the site. Have people opt in for the free thing, and then improve the thing as you go. Make it better. People say, hey, I liked your free thing. What about this? Cool. Go back to the free thing. Add that. Free thing. Now new with new additions.
And then after the free thing, you get their email and you send them how many emails?
Doesn't matter. That's way down the road. Way
Okay.
down the road. Doesn't matter. But the number one thing is did I tell you this one? Let me just tell you this one, then we'll wrap up. Okay. You want to start a hot dog stand. Did I tell you this one?
I don't think so. Continue.
Okay, cool. You want to start a hot dog stand, okay? You can have any advantage you want. Okay, you can only have one advantage, though. Okay? I'm starting a hot dog stand, too. I get to select one advantage. You're starting a hot dog stand. You get to select one advantage. Okay? And whoever has the best advantage wins the hot dog business game.
Mm-hmm.
The loser gets a set of steak knives. Okay? So they don't get a business. They don't get a winning business. So if you had one advantage, what would that advantage be?
Location.
Okay. Location. Are you sure about that one?
I'm not sure, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, we have one for location. Fantastic. Okay, Aaron, what's your advantage if you were to start a hot dog stand?
I guess it would be like clients, like demand, or I don't know, something that attracts them. Whether it's like they hear it's the best thing, or it's trendy, or it's whatever gets people coming.
Okay, what would that thing be?
I guess like maybe branding that gets people excited or something. I don't
Okay.
know. You could have like hipster people that would open up the hot dog and be like,
Okay, cool.
something.
I buy that. Okay. Okay, so we got branding hipster people for Aaron, right? And we got location for Danielle. Okay, great. Okay. So now I will tell you my advantage, okay? I'm going to write it for you. Ready?
I'm ready. Ready. Hungry crowd.
Who do you think is going to win?
I have no idea.
Really?
I
Okay.
assume throw a curveball that we're both going to be like, oh my god, we never would have known that.
Okay, let me paint the scenario for you, okay? My people, they're hungry, they haven't eaten for a couple of days, and I show up and I'm like, hot dogs? Okay? Your
Okay.
people, like location, okay, and branding. Who do you think is going to win this? Okay?
Yeah.
I got hungry people. If you ever been hungry, if you ever like not eaten 24 hours and like gone on a hike and then like I've been there, like I've done this, and it's like they came out and it was like, at the bottom they had the soup place, and that soup, it was probably the worst soup in your life, but it tasted like the best soup in your life. It was like, oh my god, this soup, it's delicious. I haven't eaten in 2 days. The soup's amazing, right? So my point is what? What's my point? I'm trying to say.
Find the people that need what you're trying to give.
Find the hungry crowd and then offer them hot dogs. I mean, that's as simple as it is. Find the hungry crowd and offer them hot dogs. Okay? Make a sign. So how do you find the hungry crowd? You make a sign that says hungry, looking for hot dogs. And then the people who show up are hungry and looking for hot dogs, and you got hot dogs.
Works out good.
That's how it is. It's a simple exercise, but notice you didn't get the right advantage, right? So don't make this mistake in your business. Have the right advantage.
Right.
Give them what they want. Give them the hot dogs. I'll wrap it up here in a second with this final little thing. Is in Las Vegas, I just looked up the story, right? What do you think? Let's see here. I already said the answer, but Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas, their nightclubs are the most lucrative in the world. In the world. That's crazy. Las
Really?
Vegas. Yeah.
Didn't
So,
know that.
yeah. So MGM's latest investment targeted the new demographic with $600 million in non-gambling projects. Non-gambling projects. Okay? So they make, send you this article, but it's ridiculous. Marquee XS Nation's top grossing bar with more than $80 million in revenue in 2012. $80 million in revenue from a nightclub.
That's crazy. What do they sell? How?
Yes, exactly. What do they sell and how? Right? That's the question you're asking. How the hell do they make $80 million in non-gambling revenue?
Yeah.
Mind blown. Your mind should be blown. That's a lot of money. That's not a small chunk of change.
So what are they selling?
What would you guess they are selling?
I don't know. Drugs? I have no idea. I
No.
don't think they are.
No.
Just bottle service? I don't know.
Bottle service. Right? Bottle service.
Bottle service.
Prices start at $3.50 for a bottle of Absolute vodka. Right?
hmm
Blah 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 blah. Anyways, that bottle's $30.
So they're selling memberships.
They're selling, but if you think about it carefully, right? If you just examine that, $80 million selling something that people do not need. Nobody needs bottle service. Nobody. Hungry people in the world aren't be like, man, I wish I had some bottle service. Okay? But it's a big, big money generator for them. Okay? The question you might want to ask yourself is, why are people buying bottle service?
Because it's the Las Vegas thing. It's this exclusive situation, and they're going to Vegas and they're trying to live this whole lifestyle thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay. But there's even if you unpack that a little bit, okay, and just go deeper, the people who buy bottle service are largely guys. Okay, guys buy bottle service. Hot girls get into the club for free. Okay? So they're selling bottle service, but bottle service is not what people are buying.
They're buying a place for all the hot girls to hang out.
No, they're not buying the place.
Well, they're buying the seating. They're buying They're basically buying the hot girls.
They're buying going home with a hot girl they met at a bar. That's what they're buying. Okay? You got to get real. That's what they're buying. Okay? They're buying exclusivity. They're buying the experience. They're buying, maybe not going out, but that would be a dream. Certainly.
hmm
It might not happen, or it might happen, actually. But the point is, that's what they're buying. So they're not selling bottle service. They're selling the experience, right? And the end result. is meet a lot of hot girls. When you have you ever done bottle service? Let me just ask you.
No.
Okay, Aaron, have you ever done bottle service?
Yeah, I mean, I've never purchased it.
Okay, but you've been on the other side of it.
I've been, yeah.
Okay, how did that work? Like, just briefly, how did that work?
You get like more exclusive seating, and then there's all the fancy things, and then the waitress usually pays a little more attention.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's like a shitty bottle of vodka that I wouldn't even drink.
Exactly. Right? And like, if you really sit down and think about this, like, it should really, really blow your mind. It's $80 million from this one little thing. There's like more millions of dollars, right? So huge generator for them. They're selling something nobody needs. Okay? And the experience of it isn't even that great. Or maybe it is, right? But I'll tell you this, okay? As a guy, when you're buying bottle service, what the bouncer does, when you buy like bottle service, the bouncer brings girls to you. You don't have to go find the girls. They bring them to you. They pick out the hot girls and they bring them to you. That's what you're buying.
Right.
That's what costs $350 for a small bottle. Right?
Huh?
And this is true for your business. Right? This is true for your business. What they're buying, right, is not what you think they're buying. It's elusive. Right? So don't sell bottles at bottle service. Sell the girls. Sell the fun. Sell the experience.
Mm-hmm.
People are looking to experience. Ultimately, if you really want to go dig deep on this, what they're selling is a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'm not knocking bottle service. I think it's amazing. I think it's a great investment. Honestly, it's a great investment. That's why. And people, I'm not the only one. $80 million says other people think it's a great investment too.
Yeah.
Okay? Because here's the little weird thing that happens. When you buy bottle and VIP service, girls start showing up.
You have a nice night. That's a good night.
You have a nice night. Believe me when I tell you have a nice night, and it's nicer than when you don't have bottle service. Girls appreciate that shit. So my point is, they're selling a feeling, and the feeling is an experiential feeling of being rich or feeling rich, even if you're not rich, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if you're not rich, cool. You buy a bottle service, nice girl, blah blah blah, more girls. Like you get the like girls in your life experience that only maybe a super rich person might have. As a guy, like you might not relate to this because you're girls, okay? But as a guy, like that would be like a dream scenario for most guys. A lot of girls, hot girls, bottle service. They don't really care about the bottle service. If we get the girls without the bottles, trust me, there'd be no bottle service. They wouldn't be making 80 million. Okay? So your people want the end result.
Mm-hmm.
So don't talk about what you do. Talk about the end result. They don't care what you do.
Okay.
I don't care if it's like vodka or Belvedere or whatever, right? Maybe a little bit. Like I like the better ones, right? But what I really care about is it going to get the girl drunk? Is it going to get the girl drunk enough to come home with me? Okay? Like that's really what guys are thinking. Like that's what they're thinking.
I believe it.
Okay? And girls, when they drink, they make poor decisions. Good. More drinks.
Be very comfortable with this whole scenario, Gary. Really, really comfortable. Like you've done this before. I don't know. I get that sense.
What's that? And there's a rationale too. There's like, oh, I was drunk. Perfect. It's like a perfect experience for everyone. Everyone gets to deny what they did. Everyone's like, oh, I was drunk. You were drunk. We were drunk. We blah blah. So this one thing happened to lead to another. Blah blah blah. This happened. Everyone gets an experience. That's my point. Everyone comes away with it with an awesome experience and a story. Girls come away with the story. Guys come away with the story. That's what's being sold. Right? So I wish I could tell you like it's something else, right? It's like, oh, this magical experience of bottles, right? But it's not. And that's what marketing is like getting down to like, what's the real thing that's going on here, right? Being real. Because that's the real thing. And most people won't even admit to that. They won't even admit to what the things I'm saying, right? But I'm okay with it. But that's what's going on.
I think like the magic of that, I mean, that is like for me kind of a sad scenario where it just keeps going on, but the deal is like it still gets them to go back, even if the experience is like the next day lackluster.
Right.
But, like 2 days later, it's still exciting and shiny to do it again.
Right.
But what I think me and Danielle are actually giving is really deep and lasting satisfaction.
Right.
We're providing, so we're even better than bottle service.
Right. Exactly.
Even better than bottle service.
Even better than bottle service. Okay? So think about that, right? What you're providing is better than bottle service. It's a better experience. It's a better thing. It's a long-lasting thing. It's a thing that's going to really help someone. Okay, these yahoos over here making $80 million selling something that's not a great experience, right, the next day, might be, if you were to think about it, might be a very crappy experience. You might be drunk, you got like a headache. You're buying a headache, potentially, right, if you drink too much. Okay, so it could be like a negative thing. Or maybe you sleep with a girl and you get an STD. That would be a very bad thing, too. Okay, so there's another one. But what you're selling is so much better. So what you should do is make sure that you have the same, marketing style as these people do, right? Which is sell the end result, sell the fun, sell the experience. Don't sell the work. Okay. Don't sell the work. Don't sell the how you do it. Like I don't care. Like I don't care when the lady says, oh, "Okay, well here's how bottle service works. We're gonna walk you back through the this and this and that, and then we're gonna do that." I'm like, just talk to me about the girls that you're gonna bring. Like, are you gonna bring the hot girls? Fantastic, great. You could stop talking now. Here's my money. Take my money. That's it. Shut up. Take my money. That's it. There's no more selling. You don't need to sell me. I'm already sold. And that's what you want. You want somebody to come to you and say, well, not say, but like imply, shut up, take my money.
I think what I do a lot is I talk about the mechanics of how craniosacral works because it's really interesting to me. Yeah. And that's not interesting to most people. Like, they're like, what? The rhythm of this? And I use like technical words, and then they're like, what? So I think I need to concentrate more on the experience. Because in the end, it's more like, just let me show you. But how can I show them if they're not going to show up? So once they do it, they still don't have a clue what it was, but they know they walked away feeling really different.
Exactly. So that's perfect. It's a good realization. It's a great realization. So you don't want to tell when you could show. That's like a basic rule in marketing. Never tell when you could show. Show. Right? What is it? I've never. Okay, let me show you. Show you. You feel that? You feel that difference? Right? Does this work? Yeah. Feeling that? Okay. It's like, how do you explain yoga? How do you explain sex to someone? You're like, what does sex feel like? Let me show you. Okay. You don't want to talk about it. Right? You want to do it. Because then somebody can have a feeling of it, right? Imagine how weird it would be just like to talk about it without feeling like it's totally different. Okay?
Yeah.
Although talking about it's important. But anyways, off topic. But point is, yeah, don't tell them about the how and your mechanics and all this stuff. They are coming to you at point A, pain. They come away from you, no pain. Less pain. Just talk about that. Talk about how this is going to be the benefits. So it's like not features, the benefits. The benefits. Nobody cares about the features and the how-to. This car's got 400 horsepower, 500 horsepower. It's got these type of wheels. Will it get me the girl? Will girls show up? Yes. Great. Take my money. There you go. Take my money. And the more the guy talks about the how, the less of my money I want to give him.
Why?
So he could actually talk himself out of the sale.
Why is that?
Because if it's someone like me, where I'm like, sounds good to me, take my money, and he's like, wait, I can't take your money, I have to tell you about the features. Let me show you around the back. I'm like, dude, I got the money. Take my money. And then I get annoyed. Then I'm like, this guy, he can't sell. This guy doesn't deserve to make a sale. I'm going to go somewhere else where they can take my money. Right? Because I got things to do.
Right.
So that's just my buying style, but people have different buying styles. So point of that is, I don't know. I just don't know what the point was.
You got sidetracked by the whole thing.
Point is, don't talk about what you do and the how and blah, 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 blah. Talk about the benefits that people can get out of the stuff that you got, and make hot dogs. Make an irresistible offer to people, right? Make if the offer, let me just tell you this. The offer is right and everything else is wrong. Right? The offer is right. You got branding, you got hipsters, you've got marketing, you've got SEO, you've got pay-per-click, you've got all these other things, right? And I just have a hungry crowd, and I have bad marketing, okay? But I got a hungry crowd, and I got a sign that says hot dogs. Guess what? I'll be selling a lot more hot dogs, because that's the one advantage that matters.
Gary, in that example, what exactly is the offer? Like, I always get confused, like, what exactly the offer? What do you mean by the offer? Is that I have hot dogs and you're hungry? What's the offer?
How do you mean?
Please define offer.
Offers?
You know, because it's not the irresistible. It's not like the bribe. It's not the thing. It's not the free thing. The offer is what you can do for them. Is that what you mean?
The offer in the product or the offer for the free thing?
Well, when you said the way you just described it just now, when you have the offer right and everything else is wrong, you can still do okay. How did you mean
the offer? It starts with the free thing. It all starts with the free thing.
Okay.
So the free offer has to be magical. Magical.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Magical, in a way, right? So that's where it starts, because guess what? If you can get the most people to take you up on your free offer, the question you want to ask is like, how many can we give away? How can we give away as much as we can? Right? If you're starting a business, and it's like dinners and wine and shit, right? You could be like, oh, we're giving away like free bottle of wine for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have like a line of people, or maybe like a free dinner. I don't know about free dinner. That's like a lot. But like free wine, like a free bottle of wine on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Then people show up. They're like, free bottle of wine. Have you heard about this? Then they tell their friends. Oh my God, we went to Johnny Rockets. They had a free bottle of wine. You wouldn't believe it. You should come. Oh my God, yeah. People start showing up. Then they start making sales. People show up. They buy stuff. It's not rocket science, right?
But
everyone makes it like rocket science. It's not.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
If they're going to a wine bar and they're like, hey, you get a free glass of wine with your, like, I don't know, something, that's what they're looking for. But, like, so the offer, to make it good, it has to be exactly what it has to be, like, the fit, like the perfect fit with what they're looking for, right?
Yes.
Like hungry people for the hot dogs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's important to get specific and to have the right match. Like your free offer complements your product.
Yes.
So the free offer naturally leads into the product. So it's like with this, let's say I worked on those questions, and then he created like a 6-week program with some hand-holding and some additional worksheets, and I talk with him, and I get clear on my goals, and he's like a life coach, and blah, 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 right? Cool. Fantastic. Will it help me get my result? Yes. Sign me up.
Okay.
And the last thing, I know I said the last thing, but it's like just assume the fact that people are going to make a decision to work with you. It's just a matter of time. Like, this is honestly what I believe. It's just a matter of time. They're going to work with me one way or another. right? They might as well sign up now and save some time. It's like, otherwise, they're just wasting their time. They're going to sign up later anyway. Do it now.
Guess what? Like, you don't have to sit around and wait for the mystery. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna happen, you know. So just do it now, and you know, get it over with, and start getting the result. Start getting the fun. Start the experience. By the way, last thing, with Vegas, like if you don't buy bottle service, right? You're gonna buy. This is why they make $80 million, by the way. Because let's say you're.
Oh, wait a minute.
Let's say you're a cheapo and you're like, I don't want to buy bottle service. Bottle service is stupid. Well, guess what? You're gonna go into the club and it's gonna be like packed and like full and like I don't know. I'm not meeting girls. Okay. Like, oh, those guys look like they're having fun. There's a lot of girls over there. I wonder if this bottle service. Let's talk to the lady. And they're guess what? They're gonna buy bottle service.
Yeah.
So they start off thinking maybe they won't do it, but they're gonna do it eventually. Because you can't have like a good time without it. It's not like great. You can't have a great time without it, right? So you might as well just do it. Just pay up now, sign up now, do it now. If I was selling bottle service, I'd be like, look, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna go in the club. There's not gonna be a lot of hot girls. You want hot girls? Yes. Great. Sign up for the bottle service. We're gonna deliver hot girls. This is the offer for bottle service. Hot girls delivered to your couch. That's the offer. Hot girls delivered to your couch, right? You don't have to talk with them. They come to you. It's an irresistible offer. It really is. Think about it. You have to go talk with girls, say something stupid, then they're like, ugh, whatever. Yeah. Okay? But it's a great offer. That's why they make so much money.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right? So you need to do the same thing. Hot dogs delivered, free hot girls, whatever it is for you. Men delivered. For you, if they're asking about dating, like, do you do my dating profile? Good. You don't do that? Find someone who does. Find someone who does and be like, listen, I'm working with a lady. I know you do these online dating profile reviews. Okay? I wonder, can I refer some people to you? Would that be okay? Would you like that? Can I give you some business?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like that? What are they going to say? No? Fuck you? I don't want business? I don't want more free business? They're going to say, fuck yes. You say, fantastic, here's a client. Call her. I'm working with her. Then once they sign her up, be like, listen, may I ask you a question? Do any of your people that you do dating profiles, do you think they need would benefit from like some coaching? Or maybe I could do like a webinar and help your people out? Would you be open to that? Yeah, good. Now you got a like potential partner. Aaron, same for you, right? Whoever the people are, massage therapists, you know, whatever. My brain's going kooky. But you know, like the people they go to right now. Deep tissue massage, right? Those are good. So instead of you asking them to send people to you, send them one of your people to them. But not the deep tissue massage if it doesn't help them, though. Do something that helps them.
Yoga.
Yoga. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, that was a long ass thing, but I think there's a lot of value there. Hopefully you like watch it and maybe there's like more value as you watch it.
Yeah.
So.
3 hours worth. Good job.
Boom. It's the gym, man. I got energy for years now.
You're going to the gym now? I thought you were going in the morning.
No, I already went today. I might go again. This thing is awesome. I highly recommend you go. It's better than bottle service. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
So let's wrap it up. So Danielle, so what's big takeaways and action items? I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow too, but just so you get some clarity from here.
Really get clear. Well, start thinking about what my free offer might be. You know, that's like where I'm starting to get like creative and, you know, interested in like what that would be, what would be the most valuable thing for my people, and then the best appropriate entrance to me and what I offer. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think what it takes to actually do is listen to my calls, listen to my coaching calls, read my surveys again, and just like go right back to basics of what people are asking for, what they're looking for.
Yeah. Cool. And buy bottle service. Don't forget that. Okay, good. Okay, fantastic.
We're not buying anything. Yeah, that's true.
You're not buying anything. Okay, fair enough. You're a girl. You don't have to buy it. Aaron, what about for you? Big aha moments or takeaways, action items?
Well, definitely the action item is to get my free offer set. If it's that audio, then that's cool, but the audio may need to be like redone a little bit, but that's a really easy way to do it, and then it's just kind of come up with the ad on how to get it out. So those are my things, but I think it's really about also how I'm talking to people about the work, what it means for them. And that might come more clearly with just like writing out the like the frequently asked questions and that kind of thing. So it's like just getting all that stuff down. I know writing helps things come out in a way that saying it doesn't. So yeah, but those are like clear next steps, and I think the aha is like, don't overthink it, don't overthink it. Like, just keep it a really simple thing.
Yeah. That should be like a very, very big takeaway is don't overthink it. Keep things very simple. A good business is a simple business. And it's boring. Simple and boring. That's what you want in a business. You have a simple and boring business, you can have an exciting life. You have an exciting business, you're going to have a boring life. Right? You're boring. Don't look for excitement in your business. Look for consistency, simplicity. It's clear. You could write. They have a thing here that says write. Oh, summarize the company's business on the back of a business card. That's one of their rules.
What is
That's
it?
one of their rules. This is Sequoia Capital. You can Google them. They're the biggest investor in companies, I think, in the world. Sequoia Capital. They're the most successful. Google. They've invested in everything. One of their first one. Summarize the company's business on the back of a business card.
That's good.
Summarize the business on the back of a business card?
Yeah.
Yeah, be clear and simple and understandable.
Yeah. I sell hot dogs to hungry people. Done. It's a little harder than that. I'm just kidding. But you should be able to summarize it. And you won't be able at first. But soon enough, you'll get there. Cool. Fantastic. Well, you guys are troopers for being on here. And be consistent with it. That's awesome. And see you back next week for more action, fun, adventure, and good times.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you guys. Bye. Talk soon. Have a great night.
Have a great night.
Talk to you soon. Bye.